Welcome into the Chemistry Podcast, episode number 287, fueled by First Form, baby.
Yoink. What up?
I like this show already. We're just getting started, but Cam...
Head for the mountains of Bush.
It's a beautiful afternoon here in town.
It's awesome out, dude. It's a beautiful weekend.
Yes, it was.
Andy's wearing his fucking sandals, nasty-ass sandals.
Well, it's sandal season, and Cam knows that.
You look...
What are you going to do?
I could push you over right now.
No, you couldn't.
You couldn't help me carry anything. If I needed you for anything, you couldn't do it because you got stupid fucking sandals on.
What are you talking about?
You look extra non-athletic because of your sandals.
6 months a year.
God, sandals are gross.
Some people don't like sandals in airports, but...
oh, yeah. Are you wearing sandals on a plane?
Okay. Let me tell you the secret behind that. Here's the secret. I don't like taking off my shoes at the security gate.
With socks on?
And then having to put your shoes back on. It's just a very simple,
9/11.
very easy fix.
It's Hoosier.
To wear sandals in airports?
Yeah.
Listen, it's...
On a plane, I think it's Hoosier. That's just my opinion.
It's the off-season. Although the season never really stops, but it's the off-season. In terms of the sun is out, the temperature's above 70. Although today
I just
it may
don't
not
wear
be.
sandals, man. Even at the beach, I wear like boat shoes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't like.
Dude, that's a terrible
such a Hoosier
look.
ass
That's a
look.
terrible look. You
Boat
can wear.
shoes?
What's a boat shoe?
You just kind of slip on. You can grip.
Is that something like my grandmother?
No, it's something
would
that
call
if
it.
you owned a boat like I did, you wear boat shoes.
Oh, is that what they're called?
So it's just easy to jump in and out.
They're
it
called
grips,
water shoes.
Whatever. I call them boat shoes. You can grip the water. You can grip the dock, and when you're jumping up and on off the boat, you just have a better grip. Fucking sandals are just.
You mean like
non-athletic?
Like body glove?
Your goddamn toes are sticking out. Like,
You remember Body Glove?
No.
You don't remember the brand Body Glove?
Uh-uh.
That's probably the shoes you wore, your little boat shoes.
They're fucking badass.
Nah, not really.
I don't show my nasty feet because your feet ain't good looking. Your feet ain't good looking.
I'll tell you this right now, you're not wheeling them boat shoes.
You're not wheeling fucking goofy ass sandals on.
Sure I am.
No, you're not.
Let me tell you this real
and
quick.
his feet look like he does construction for a living, which he doesn't. They're all beat the fuck up. He wanted to do we're gonna do pictures before this. And he's always trying to find like a new position to be in. So he sits back and he puts his nasty feet on this thing. And then I recognized it, and you're like, wait, I can't do that because people would have chirped you.
No, they wouldn't.
Yes, they would.
Because they realize
they would.
there's a lot of sandal wearing people out there. That's what you wear in the summertime, dude, and in the spring when the temperature is nice.
It's just not my jam. I don't like looking at other people's feet,
really?
Especially when they look nasty.
Some people really like feet.
Yeah.
You know that?
Oh, I know.
Like, is that a fetish you could ever see yourself getting into?
No, I'm not into that. Not into it. Doesn't turn me on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I like ass. Like, if a girl has a thong on and that turns me on. Or like, but the feet don't do it. But I know guys that want feet on their face and lick the feet.
Oh
and
my
shit.
God, I know they suck the toes.
They suck the toes. They fucking love it, dude.
They like to get the lint.
Kind of like
between the toes. They like to get that lint out.
Like I think Quentin Tarantino's like that because in the movie From Dusk Till Dawn, he wrote a script of the guy with Salma Hayek in the vampire bar, and he had the scene where she's taking tequila and putting her feet in his mouth, but he cast himself as that part.
Oh, so he would dip her toe in tequila?
No. She'd stand on the table like this, and she'd have her foot in his mouth, and she'd dump tequila down her leg, and he's just like... And he hired himself to play that part.
Oh,
so you know
really?
he likes that.
So
Salma Hayek
you're trying to read into that?
Yeah.
You don't know that.
No, but I would say that so people were talking about that on the internet. It's pretty funny.
It's called an assumption.
Now, if I was going to suck anybody's toes, Salma Hayek, I probably would.
Yeah,
Even now, she looks beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful.
I could get into some feet. I'd have no problem.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's
like if it's a beautiful foot.
What if she's wearing sandals all day
dude.
And she's sweating? And you want, like, I think people like the stank, too.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
People
they
like
want
that?
us. Yes.
I like a nice manicure-looking toe, though.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying? A girl who's
Unlike that. Unlike that.
A girl
you work construction?
Looks like
no,
it.
you don't.
Shit kicker.
Shit kicker, man.
I probably could.
And he's either got sandals on or legit concrete boots that my buddies wear that actually own a concrete company.
I can wear
those.
Those
are the
too.
boots that they wear.
I've got lots of different options.
I had a good weekend.
Oh, you're
dude.
late today, by the way.
I had to get some food. I did you a favor.
Cam,
we're gonna be here for 3
We're all
hours.
hungry.
Dude, I've been up for
I don't even
4:30.
eat till noon.
Yeah, you don't eat. But I'm up at 4:30. I just got done with my radio show. I fly right over here to make it on time. I got to stop at the gas station.
Late.
And I had to go by Chick-fil-A and get one of them. And I went healthy this time. grilled chicken with egg white, and it's crush that mug real
so
quick.
I've been reading about Chick-fil-A. There's a perception out there that it's healthier, but it's not. No. I'm just telling you, it's probably not.
Compared to
healthy
what?
Compared to like the other fast food chains.
I bet you that has less calories because it's grilled chicken and it's got egg whites.
Well, maybe
and they put no cheese on it.
Was
and it's a whole wheat.
No, it might be. It's probably not bad for you.
No, that's not bad. So
I'm making a steak tonight.
Oh yeah, who's eating it? I did.
It's frozen. I forgot to take it out of the freezer. I got to take that out of the freezer in the morning so it's ready to go at nighttime.
I saw.
Although you can.
What?
Put a frozen steak on a grill. I watched
if you want to ruin it, you can.
That.
Yeah, you could do anything. You could do anything.
Comes out gray.
Comes out disgusting. No grill marks on that. God, don't ever cook me a steak.
Get grill marks on there.
On your Traeger? Oh yeah. From what?
From my
fire under, that doesn't exist underneath?
Sure.
The fire's in a little chamber pot over here. It just blows the smoke through. So you're not getting direct fire underneath your steak, which you want to do.
You don't wear flip-flops real quick on the beach or at the pool?
No.
At the pool?
Nah.
Dude, everybody does that. Just so you know.
I'm not everybody.
I know. I'm just saying, like, don't think that I'm the only one that wears flip-flops.
No, but
it's a very
you
common.
wear flip-flops around everywhere.
You can dress them up. You can dress them down.
Yeah, but
it's kind of like the versatility.
Yeah, but are we at a beach? Are we at a beach?
It's like the versatility.
You're going from here. You're going to the rink. You're seeing people. You're doing all this stuff, and you got sandals on the whole time. Your feet stink at the end of the day.
Not true.
Everybody's looking at your fucking toenails. It's like
I wear these to the rink with socks on.
That's even more Hoosier.
Before practice.
That's even more Hoosier.
No, it's just in and out of the locker room quickly.
Even more Hoosier.
Yeah, put the skates on.
Socks and sandals. That's even more Hoosier. So I got a lot of Hoosier things that I do. Don't get me wrong, because I am a legit Hoosier. But you got some fucking tendencies too.
What makes a legit Hoosier? Because that may be the only tendency.
You let your dogs. No, we don't do that now. I mean, but like I grew up fucking. You know, my neighbor's dogs are in my fucking garage.
Oh, don't blame it on the neighbors.
Oh,
what?
God.
I want to know how you're a Hoosier.
How my parents
I can tell you how you are if you want to. But
you know, maybe when my mom and dad would fight, they'd be loud. You know,
your grass is tall.
No. My dad. Now you're chirping my dad.
No. Oh, God.
Now you're chirping my dad. No. Everything's no. He fucking cuts the grass. Everything's prim and proper.
You got big weeds in your
none of that.
Trash everywhere.
But we just grew up in that area where, like, you know, it's like hit or miss if your neighbors are going to be straight up Hoosiers.
Yeah.
And we had a shit ton, and they could ruin you.
Yeah.
They could ruin your property value and all that shit.
You have that buddy that collects everything, like in the back shed.
That's another thing.
In the back shed, there's metal pieces,
cars.
Like there's, oh my God,
cars on fucking concrete blocks in your driveway that you haven't touched.
Yeah,
you're not doing anything with that.
If you have more than 3 cars in your driveway and you don't have a big ass driveway and like a big ass house and they're nice cars, you are a Hoosier.
You're a Hoosier.
I lived across the street.
They're
from
not.
One of
they're
those
not nice cars.
Like they're not. They don't run.
No,
they don't even work.
They don't work.
They've never moved.
They're just there.
It's been there for weeks.
God, even like going back.
Was that how it was in your house?
In my old neighborhood.
No, at your house.
Now?
Yeah.
God.
No, at your house where you grew up. When you didn't cut the grass.
No, the grass was always cut. We just were surrounded by it. You know what I mean? And if I tell, like, you know,
the mailbox is like tipped over. Yeah, like toys everywhere. Oh, it's another thing. You got toys fucking everywhere. There's nothing wrong with that. You just got to pick them up at nighttime.
Yeah, but they don't. That's the whole thing. Oh. They don't.
Okay.
Toys out the wazoo. You know, just shit like that. It's just dogs running around. Fucking They're cooking curry all damn time.
And they're running around. The mom's laying out on tinfoil.
Yeah, like just shit like that. But
not cute.
Not cute. You know what I mean?
Shouldn't say that, man.
Yeah, it's all good.
Everybody's good looking.
I did do. I went and saw my.
No, do you agree with like everybody is like?
No,
everybody's good looking.
I do not agree with that. You know what I mean? Just like the whole Lizzo thing. Like Lizzo's beautiful. Lizzo's beautiful.
No, in her own way, she is.
Then go to a woman and say, "You look like Lizzo," and see what happens.
Oh my God! Could you imagine saying that?
And aren't they all beautiful?
Okay, so let's present a scenario. So if your wife says, "How do I look?" and you said, "Baby, you look beautiful. You look like Lizzo."
Oh, baby!
You don't think she would take that as a compliment?
Supposed to be a biatch, dude. She's supposed to be.
What do you mean?
Hard
She's
to deal
very
with.
Talented.
Talent is fine.
No, she went to like a New York like performing arts.
I don't give
school.
A shit about
She plays
that.
like a million instruments.
She's mean to her
flute.
People
she
around.
plays the flute.
Yeah. She's mean to the people surrounding her.
Well, so was Ellen.
She sucks too. She like forced people to like do kind of sexual things.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you didn't read about that?
About
yeah.
Lizzo?
Yeah.
I have not read up on Lizzo.
Dave.
I've been reading about I've been reading about floods in Dubai, baby.
Oh God.
In the UAE. You know what that stands for?
Yeah. United Emirates.
No.
UAE.
Yeah.
United I forgot.
Man, Arabic.
Emirates or whatever it is.
Yeah. No. United Arabic Emirates.
Yeah, okay.
UAE, because like those of us who are really following the story are very familiar with.
Oh
that.
yeah, so what happened?
Well, I think they were doing some seed testing.
No, they weren't. See, that's where that's what Andy. No, they weren't. That's debunked.
Oh, it just rained.
That's fucking debunked.
It never rains there, and now it just all of a sudden flooded.
Once in a while it has. You have catastrophic storms. They had a 10-year flood. They had rain for that would really be a 10-year accumulation in 24 hours.
20 people have died.
Really?
Oh yeah.
20 people.
Yeah, and
dude, did you see that?
They're locked in their homes.
Scary.
Schools are closed.
But they have so much money.
They have no drainage, dude.
No, nothing to absorb that water. They have no plants. They have no grass.
A lot of times, what happens is in the desert, just a little education for you, in like desert or dry areas, what they'll do is they'll put chemicals in the clouds. It's called seeding.
They didn't do it
in an effort to increase precipitation.
They didn't do that.
Which would then, if there's like a water shortage.
Fuck with the weather.
But the weather people have come out and said they didn't do that. Yeah. But I just... No, there's some conspiracy out there.
Well, whatever. Dude, sometimes you get rocked by storms, just like we got hit by tornadoes the other day, too.
I heard. I was out of town, so tell me about that.
Yeah, just a couple ones. One in Eureka knocked over a wrecked, a little wedding area, just cute. Brookdale Farms, if you know what Eureka. The
wedding?
No. Brookdale Farms is in Eureka, Missouri. And
Dude,
it's this cute little area.
Really
it's
nice.
So cute.
It's really nice.
And a tornado rocked it. So like people are probably having weddings coming up here, and that thing's destroyed. But nothing really bad. It just missed St. Louis and went over and hit the
Illinois side.
The Illinois side like it usually does. Mm-hmm. But yeah, again, we're gonna get today's the 13th year anniversary of when that EF4 hit St. Louis Airport.
Oh God!
Yes.
Today's the anniversary.
Yeah, and like this tornado came through EF4 at night, hit our airport, fucking turning planes around.
Glass is shattering.
These dumbass guys, these people are like, "What's going on out there?" Right by the glass, and they're like, "Get the fuck away from the glass. That's what's gonna kill you." And so they're watching a tornado right next to this huge sheet of glass. And it didn't crack, and they didn't get hurt. But that was
we
a
had
dumb thing
one
to
a couple years ago, like an EF1 that we had.
Yeah,
Kirkwood.
They pop down, come back up, pop down, come back
Frontenac
up.
area where I live, my fence got destroyed. Lanterns got shattered.
Do you see that guy burn himself in front of?
Dude, have you ever? Could you hate anybody that much to set yourself on fire?
They're psychos. Dude.
Could you? No. Is there anybody or anything?
These people hate Trump so bad
that you would hate somebody so much that you'd set yourself on fire?
My buddy did it.
That was your buddy?
No. Fuck no. I was a weirdo fucking protester.
Is that a Hoosier?
My buddy I grew up with out in Eureka. And all my buddies that are listening right now know exactly what I'm talking about. I grew up with him. He was this big stud, tougher than shit, beat the shit out of me when I was a kid. In a good way. I needed it. And he had a little brother too. And we grew up. He had everything going for him. He was a track star. And he became cuckoo. Not drugs, nothing. We would see him jogging in the middle of the night with no fucking shirt on in like this crazy area, just jogging, like coming back from something. Me and my dad were like, why is he? God, he's jogging at night.
How old was he when he started jogging?
Let's get 17,
let's
18,
get to the bottom of
17,
this.
18, 19. And I brought up Black Madonna Shrine before. He became really, really religious and crazy. And all of a sudden he went missing.
Black Madonna Shrine? You've never brought that up.
I brought it up multiple times. If you want to know where I grew up, just look up Black Madonna Shrine.
Oh, that's where you're from?
Yeah, it's from the 1800s. It's like this burial site. It's like a religious weird thing. It's the creepiest fucking thing in the world. Look that up. I lived right in like this little subdivision in the woods right next to this. So he's missing. We're like, where the fuck is, I shouldn't even say his name, Todd. Where is he? His dad's like, I think I know where he's at. And he went up to Black Madonna Shrine, and he saw his son burnt out.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, did the same
fucking thing. I didn't know where we were headed with this.
Yep, same thing.
So Black Madonna Shrine, that's kind of the name of your neighborhood?
No, my neighborhood's Sandy Creek, but that Black Madonna Shrine's like right on the other side of the hill.
How did they come up with that name?
Don't know. It's from the 1800s.
Is
really
there
creepy.
Any history of
there's a history of something. I don't know. But then we had that infirmary too, right up there. Dude, I told you I lived in the creepiest fucking area ever.
Yeah.
So creepy, dude. But he burned himself. A lot of it's kind of like, I think Buddhist people that do that. Like, you know, the Rage Against the Machine CD album where they had the monk that burned himself in front of everybody from a protest and like.
Could you ever hate somebody so much? The other guy the other day?
The other day. Did you see what they're
How
doing?
did he do it?
Probably just fucking lighter fluid.
Like oil and shit?
And he goes, sets himself, and he's like,
Was he screaming?
Yeah, and like they're filming him.
Can I see the video?
And he's like, And then they came, all the police show up, and they take the fire extinguisher and go, Then he's like, and then all of a sudden he starts lighting back up again.
Oh my God, it was like those trick candles.
Yes.
Like the birthday candles that won't try to blow them out?
Yeah, and dude, it was most fucked up. Then you see the video of his like dick's hanging out.
Was he completely naked?
Yeah, because
or they burned the clothes off.
Burn the clothes when you burn like that. I think the clothes sticks into your skin.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't need to.
Psycho.
Like, yeah.
Psycho.
Is there anything or anybody you could hate that much that you would burn yourself on fire?
No, but that's me. We're normal. These people aren't normal. Their hatred for Trump and all that shit is fucking cuckooville.
Well, no. Like, if you don't like Trump, it doesn't mean that you're cuckoo.
No. But the cuckoo ones that hate him so bad do cuckoo shit just like that.
What about the ones that hate Biden so bad?
Yeah, there's a ton of that too, but they're not burning themselves. I haven't seen any of that.
Well, they might.
Fuck, go ahead then. If you're that fucked up, like that's on you. You know what I mean?
Even the people that like bring flags and like burn the flag on fire.
Hate that. I hate that so much. That shit bugs me, man. It does.
Yeah.
Like you can't let everything bug you. You know, there's a balance. Like I always said, you can't stick your head in the sand and be like, I'm not paying attention to anything. You got to know what's going on, man. Like you got to know what's going on. But there's a lot of stuff you have no control over. You have no control. You can only vote. You can only do this. You can only do that. Get the word out, or whatever the case is. But you can't let everything drive you nuts. Because you really read up on things, man. You might drive yourself crazy. There's a lot of shit going on.
I was invited to a golf tournament today. I was going to go golf today.
What a waste.
I don't know what time we're getting out of here.
Oh, fuck. They're going to wait on. Oh, God. Andy's the worst. Andy's the worst at that.
No,
he'll show
at
up
the worst
fucking,
at what?
You can't.
Because I'm not the worst at golf.
No, you don't understand. Like when somebody sets up a golf outing with you at their club and you show up late, dude, you're fucking everybody over.
Yeah, I gave them
They're waiting on you. You know, people are waiting in line. Like you have your tea time and you have to.
You have to abide by that.
Yes, you do. Do you not get that?
It's a shuffle.
Huh?
What's it called? Like
Scramble?
Scramble. So like I'll just meet them up.
Yeah,
with them.
that's what Hoosiers.
Is that Hoosier?
Mm-hmm.
What about golfing in sandals?
Oh, dude. I told you how I never golfed growing up, obviously.
Yeah.
But once I started playing NHL, I'd get invited to all these golf tournaments, including with the Blues.
Yeah.
And
barefoot?
I look back on that, and I was such a fucking Hoosier.
Would you golf barefoot?
No, but I didn't know golf etiquette that much.
So what were you doing?
Just probably being loud,
jean shorts,
having my hat on backwards at Belle Reve. You know, I remember having socks I'd pull all the way up, just like I look like a jackass. I get to see Doug Armstrong and Al McInnes.
Can we get him out of the organization?
Looking at me
right
like
now?
this fucking Hoosier. He is such a Hoosier. You know, those guys are all straight up golfers, man. They know everything about it.
Straight up golfers.
But I just remember going to these tournaments with the Blues, and I look back and I'm like, fuck almighty, you were a Hoosier.
How do you become like a straight up golfer, where you just like talk like a golfer?
We just play,
you
dude.
Watch the game like a golfer. You yoink.
You know.
Oh my God, dude, you're splashing
Head
everywhere.
for the mountains, a bush. God, I should have brought my first form thing. Man, God damn it. Stupid white styrofoam cup.
Oh, dude, that's Hoosier.
God, I know.
That's Hoosier.
All the guys were golfing on Tavern Creek right behind me. And the club pro at St. Albans said, hey, Cam, your buddies are coming up in about half an hour. So I see all the guys, and they can't see me. It was Justin Falk.
Did you run out there?
No, but I'm sitting on my deck.
Like, hey, guys.
I'm sitting on it. I'm like, how do I play
you thirsty?
This? How do I play this? And so I see Falk and his group, and then I see a couple other guys, and I see Robert Thomas. I'm like, okay. And he duffs it. And I go, nice shot, Robert. And he looks back. He's like, what the fuck is this, mother? Because you can't see. I'm pretty far away.
Yeah.
He's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, oh, no. I'm like,
oh, God.
Like,
he doesn't know it's you?
No. He doesn't know it's
me. Oh, now he's going to know.
No, he knows now. But he already knows now. But I'm so far away, and I'm like, God, I just want to say something just to chirp a little bit.
Yeah.
I go, nice shot, da-da-da. He kind of looks back. Everybody's looking at me like, who's this fucking Hoosier?
Who's this guy?
And I'm like, damn it. Now they're going to be like, I got guys in St. Albans
Hoosiers
making fun of us while we dump our shot.
You gave St. Albans a bad name.
Bad name until Benner comes on. He pulls a cart right in my yard and he goes, "Is that you?" I go, "What's up, man?" He's like, "Oh, cool." So he figured out it was me. And even Robert Thomas was like, talked to a couple people and said, "No, I figured out that was Cam."
Yeah.
But I'm like, "Damn it, dude," because you don't do that.
No.
You don't do that. You get heckled when you go way out there. There's a reason why you drive all the way out to the golf.
I'm very disappointed that you would actually
it worked out.
Represent the brand like
I know.
that.
I was like, how do I play this?
Well,
nice shot.
Hey, guys.
Hey, guys. Just joking. But
you need an extra?
You watching hockey?
They don't let you on that course.
You watching hockey?
They don't let you out there.
Oh, I know. I know.
Cam didn't do anything wrong.
I didn't do it. No, it's all good. But
hold on. So you want to know what else is Hoosier?
What?
Fighting with parents from the other team in the
stands. What now? Good God.
And then a lady from the other team apparently was like waiting for like one of the moms in the parking lot.
Jesus.
I know, dude.
Why? What happened?
I think we were beating a team pretty good, and something was said in the stands. They misconstrued it. Because the officiating, I don't know. Everybody's yelling at the refs all the time and getting mad and whatever.
I hate that.
I know. Yeah. But it just, I don't know, one thing led to another, and it was just a lot of yelling, a lot of screaming.
Were you involved?
Back and forth. Never, dude. Ever. You know what? It's two things why I'm never involved.
I'll find out.
Oh, yeah. But you know this. It's not really my jam, to like yell at the other parents.
No.
I don't even sit with a lot of I just kind of I like to chill and watch,
Yeah,
in like a quiet area, as opposed to like right in the mix. Hey, the moms, man, they give the boys great support and they, cheer on the fans and everything. But I like to be a little more in the subdued area.
Yeah,
which is fine.
You just want to watch Ty play, dude.
Just want to watch the game and
not hear anything.
Yeah, dude, they were just kind of like getting after it a little bit. But it was the parents from the other team that were getting aggressive and yelling and screaming and
like what? Like what are they saying? Like this kid's out of control.
Yeah, because I don't know. The game was kind of lopsided. I think that team that we had played, where their parents got upset, they hadn't won a game in the tournament, and this was their fourth game, so they were probably getting a little tired of losing and just got a little upset.
Whose fault is that though? That's not on anybody. Not the kid's fault.
No.
Now listen. If there's parents fighting and there's not even checking yet, like body contact.
There's some body contact.
Is that what they're mad about? Because that makes sense.
Well, it's when the penalties are called or not called and whatever.
But that has nothing to do with the kids. That has nothing to do with the parents. So why would they?
I don't know.
I just...
Well, because somebody says they overhear something and then they get mad and they react to it.
Calm down.
I know, man.
That sucks. Dude.
I don't have it in me to get into that.
No, don't.
All right, so here's what happens on the way home, Cam. Driving home yesterday. First off, great weekend in Chicago. We went 4-1 for those who were curious.
A lot worse.
We lost in the semis to a team from Minnesota. Good team, really good team. But a great weekend, a lot of fun. Saw those on the bench guys. Those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like those two cats, man.
They're cool.
Yeah. What's their names?
Don't know.
They're cool, and I think they do listen. So we're gonna give you a little shout out, although I forgot their names.
What do you think they get paid to show up at like a tournament like that?
$5,000.
Yeah. They're just taking pictures with kids.
Maybe $10,000. They're huge.
They wear that outfit,
Yeah, the cowboy and they're Ollie. It's Ollie.
Yeah.
And somebody else. They're hilarious.
Yeah, they do a good job.
They beat the shit out of each other.
No, they're funny.
They're funny. I like them a lot, man.
They're kind of like
those guys are cool.
Red Deer,
they're good old boys.
Alberta, good old boys.
Good old fucking boys. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ollie and something.
Yeah, they're cool.
They beat the shit out of each other.
I talked to them for a little while. They were great.
Yeah, I saw the picture.
On the way home, you did? Oh, Ty on my Instagram story. Yeah, he took a picture with them. The boys all know who they are.
Yeah, they're all over the place.
They're like even on the bench. Apparently, on the bench is what they're called. But when the kids were playing and they saw them in the stands, I guess when they were on the bench, they were like, "Oh my God, the on the bench guys are here."
Yeah, they're big.
Yeah, they knew. All those dudes, Coach Chippy, he wasn't there, but all the Paddle Barber, all these dudes.
Oh yeah,
all the YouTube hockey guys. The kids follow all these guys. Anyway, on the way home, I took a rental car. I don't like putting the miles on my car, driving around. I had to take 2 other kids up to Chicago with me too, and their dad. So I needed a little more space. Let them destroy the car. You know what I'm saying? Because
isn't that nice? You could just take a rental car. You could do.
He spilled like a whole thing of granola all over the car, dude. It's just
Yeah.
So I stopped by a place called Wally's. They got a Wally's here in
Oh,
St. Louis.
yeah, baby.
But there's another one halfway between St. Louis and Chicago. It's in a town called Pontiac, Illinois.
Yep.
You familiar with that?
Yeah.
Pontiac?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So there was a button on the key fob that I would accidentally press every time. Instead of the unlock button, I would hit the gate button, like the trunk.
Yeah.
So the gate would pop up.
Mm-hmm.
So I closed the gate. I'm at Wally's. We're coming out. We're leaving. As I'm driving out of the parking lot, this car behind me's honking his horn. I'm like, I look back. Oh, the gate's open. So I turn around, go back to close it. He comes out of the car and he's like, "Hey, you got a bag that fell out right back there."
Oh, Jesus.
I'm like, "Oh my God."
You would have caused a traffic. You would have caused an accident.
No, I did. Cars are honking. I'm doing a U-turn. Like, oh yeah, it could have easily. So I go back to get the bag. This is like 30 seconds later. I just pulled out. There's no bag. I go back and look at my trunk. Which bag is it? It's my backpack, dude. Work backpack, laptop,
Computer.
my Mac laptop, everything in there.
Why is that in the back?
I don't know. I should have put it in the back seat.
Yeah, no, because the kids are back there too, so there's no room.
It's just a little trunk area, hockey bags.
You
And
fuck
like,
your
we had
computer
like,
up?
So it falls out. Nowhere to be found. I start panicking. I'm like, I need my laptop. My wife's going to kill me. All the baby pictures are on there and shit. Dude, it's just...
Well, that's sunk into an iCloud.
Well, she hasn't backed it up recently because the Mac doesn't have any more storage apparently or something like that.
From all the pictures she took? Holy shit. No wonder.
Okay, so listen.
My God.
So, but I like taking, my Mac with me and like do some work when I can and whatever. So I go inside Wally's and I'm like, did anybody turn it in? They say no. I go back and drive down there again. I'm like, it's nowhere to be found. Like where is it? So I go back inside the store and I ask for the manager and I'm like, do you have a surveillance camera? She said, yeah. So they start looking into the surveillance. Well, while they're doing that, I call the police. Because I'm like, somebody took it.
What a mess.
Somebody took it. Okay. Police show up. The manager, dude, she was unbelievable. And the employee, they go in the back and they look up the surveillance footage. They come out, dude. They're ready to rock and roll. They're like, we saw it. A guy in a U-Haul gets out of his U-Haul, runs, picks up the backpack, gets back in his car, and like takes off.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shady.
So, oh yeah.
Whoa.
So, at this exit, there's a Wally's, but it's in the middle of nowhere, Illinois. So there's some like fast food restaurants, gas stations, and shit like that.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. So I'm going outside. They're going outside to see if there's a U-Haul in the parking lot because it was a U-Haul. I'm going outside to get in my car to go drive down to these restaurants, see if this U-Haul, where it went, whatever.
Probably gone, dude.
Wouldn't you know it, they come back to Wally's and they're getting gas at Wally's, the U-Haul. So the cop rolls up and the manager and walks over to the car and the guy hands the backpack right over. He's like, oh yeah, I was going to look to see if there was a phone number in there to contact the person. And like all my like IDs in there, like, my
Shady.
NHL credentials and stuff like that. Like you see my face picture, whatever. It wouldn't be hard to track me down. A little bit.
Yeah.
A little transient. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
transient.
like, you know what I mean? Like they like bounce around from city to city. You ever know those people that come in town for like 2 weeks and then they're out of town?
Hippies.
You see them hanging out in front of gas stations and shit.
Yeah. Loitering
with a dog and a sign.
Says, I need food. But actually he wants money.
I need a ride.
Because anytime they have the sign, I need.
So he hands over the backpack, but I think he probably like saw the cop there too and was like, all right, I'm not going to fuck around. You know what I mean?
Well, he's probably like, I got to get gas. I forgot to get gas.
Exactly. I don't know why he didn't go to the other gas station. So they got it back. Dude, I got to give a shout out to the manager and the employee over at Wally's, man, Pontiac. And there's a Wally's here in St. Louis.
You deserve that thing to be stolen, I think.
You think?
Yeah.
It was my fault?
Yeah.
I know it was.
Yeah.
But I can't believe I got it back, dude.
There's some good people in the world and there's some bad people, man.
So
I'm telling you.
They drive up to me in the U-Haul and they're like, hey, I was going to give it back to you. I was just going to see if there was any information and I was going to contact you. But dude, they literally, right off after it fell out, they got out and picked it up. And I'm just sitting there. It was a red light. I couldn't go anywhere. They could have easily come and knocked on my window and be like, hey, we've got your backpack.
Nope.
So I'm not so sure I'm buying that because I didn't go anywhere.
No,
and then I turned around. They could have seen me there. And Just
trying to
crazy,
see.
man.
There's some bad.
I can't believe I got it back.
Yeah, you're lucky, man. That guy, if he wasn't a dipshit, he would have been gonzo. You know what I mean?
Well, if this manager would have waited 2 more minutes to get the video,
Oh yeah, they were on it quick. Then.
get on it promptly. They were like asking me questions. Which exit did you leave? Where were you parked? Which side of the building were you parked? All this stuff. And I gotta give him credit, man. I sent a message today to the owner of Wally's.
Good.
To say, hey, give that manager a pat on the back, dude.
Oh, that's good. I always do that, man.
Yeah.
Those guys will probably work their ass off.
She was unbelievable.
She doesn't get that much money, you
never
probably
know.
blue collar.
You don't know that.
In Pontiac, Illinois,
it's a-
working at a Wally's, I think I'm probably right on that. So she's probably not rolling in the dough. So for you just email.
They take care of their employees very well.
Just the email goes a long way for people like that, I would say. You know what I mean?
Well, I thank them very much.
Yeah. So
the cop was like, "Is everything in there? Do I need to go back?" I'm like, "The laptop's in there. I don't even know what else was in there."
yeah, well, figure it out, Andy. Good Lord.
Whew.
My God almighty.
That was a close call, Cam.
Yeah, I went to saw my buddy's son, 8 years old, play some baseball in Eureka. And I laughed my ass off, dude. These kids were so fucking funny, man.
He won't go to my kid's game.
Yeah, I will.
Ever.
Yes, I will.
He never goes, but he'll go to somebody else's.
I get asked to go every single
baseball
day.
game.
Every single day to go places and see kids and stuff like that.
You won't even come talk to the kids, dude.
Yes, I will.
I asked him so many times. Now he's off to a baseball game. He's late today.
Dude, this is my buddy I grew up with like forever, Jason. And he
I
talks about his kids so much.
I like Jason.
Talks about his kids' baseball so much. He's so into it. He's like, you gotta come see him.
Give his business a shout out.
And Dapper Can, baby. Clean my goddamn garbage cans.
All right, for that,
you pecan pie out of those bad boys afterwards.
For that, Jason, you got to come in.
Hey, so funny though.
Hook me up.
These
with my
kids look so
trash
cute,
cans.
man. Their outfits are awesome. Like their unis are really cool looking. And every single walk-up song was straight up gangster rap, dude. Every single one. I'm sitting there, I'm just like listening and watching, and all of a sudden, when this tiny little kid goes up, like, nah, 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 and it's like, bitches will hold when the bunna boom bop, but the bunna bump, I'm like, whoa.
Is that Hoosier?
I don't know what it is. Like those guys, those kids, like their mom and dads are doing well. Like it's not like back in the 90s in Eureka. It's completely different now. You know what I mean? And then another kid comes up, like little guy, like, hey, hi, and it's, what's up, bitches, hoes? What's up? Make that fucking rain. I'm like, whoa, goddamn.
Are you sure they're saying bitches and hoes?
I mean, it was some hardcore gangster
I don't know.
rap.
Okay.
I'm like looking over at Kate. She's dying laughing. I'm like, that is the funniest shit ever. Although I'm like, I don't know. It's like straight gangster rap.
I don't want to sound like a old man or like get off my lawn type thing, but I will say, baseball can be. It's way more annoying, honestly, in my opinion, than hockey. Like the parents and they're all that.
They were awesome.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying that.
They were drinking fucking Jello shots. They made all kinds of stuff.
You see those youth baseball coaches get arrested for drinking in the dugout?
Oh yeah.
Like walking away from the field in handcuffs, dude, because they were drinking in the dugout.
You can't.
They would be.
All the parents were drinking.
That'd be Cam, Coach Cam.
They fucking yeah, it probably would be. And they're like, oh, the women. The moms are like, Cam, take this. I'm like, okay, fireball shot.
Take what?
Fireball shot.
Oh my God, dude.
I'm like, what a party this is.
We don't do that out in our area.
I'll tell you this,
that's not.
If I had kids though, man, I think I would be obsessed, kind of like you and Jason. Mm-hmm. Anytime I talk to any of my buddies, man, I'm straight to the kids first, man. They give me a rundown on what's going on, how they played, this, that. And I'm interested in it because I do. I live vicariously through you guys with that stuff. I love your kids. Yeah. I'm committed to them in a way, But I watched it. I swear to God, I had a smile on my face the whole time.
Yeah, no, I love it.
They were so good too. They fucking hit it out of the park, and they're doing these things
out of the park, like over the fence.
Yes, they had like this. It wasn't like a small,
like a makeshift fence.
They had it looked like a Green Mile in Boston, and these kids are fucking launch angle, bam,
the Green Monster.
The Green Monster in Boston. Yeah, it's like that's what it looked like, and it was really. It wasn't a big field. Yeah. So they had a chance to hit it out of the park, and some of them did, and I remember it was
who's pitching.
It's a pitch thingy.
Like a machine pitch.
Yoink. Yeah. But it goes quick.
Yeah, that's what we do.
But they go up there and they have these badass stances. I'm like, whoa. Oh, yeah. These kids are bombing them. And I remember this one kid who probably isn't the best because Jason tells me about who's what. And I kind of remember it. And I'm like, and this one kid goes up there and I can see his dad over there. And his dad's just like, come on, you could do this time. He struck out, whatever. He fucking hits a bomb. And it made me feel really good. Wow. I go, way to go, buddy. Like, way to go. His eyes are like, I was just like, oh. It's really cute, man. It was. So I went home and made love to Kate and see what's going on.
It made her frisky? Watching
no, I was like, let's have a kid, damn it.
Oh, you wanted one. So, well, actually, we got home yesterday and Ty had a baseball game. Went straight to his baseball game. Baseball is great, but I will say it's a little obnoxious with the, like, our team doesn't do that, dude. Like, kids don't need walk-up songs.
It's hilarious. Gangster
I'm just
rap.
saying. Kids don't need walk-up songs. I'm getting used to that.
Cute.
Baseball's different than it used to be.
Yeah, that was cute. Don't bother me. Like, walk-up songs, I was laughing my ass off.
Sometimes
it's hilarious.
It used to be like you had to make the big leagues to feel like a big leaguer.
It's a walk-up song, Andy. You're thinking way too much.
Saying, dude.
I remember this one time.
They didn't have walk-up songs when I was a kid, dude. You didn't do that.
Yeah,
and we had the big, blasters, whatever. You could have.
It's different now, homie. So anyway, like I saw this one dad. He's really stoic. Like he's just sitting there, like doesn't want to talk to anybody, and he's looking at his kid. His kid's kind of like fucking off in the dugout, And he goes up to his kid. He goes, "Hey." He goes, no, real quiet, but I'm paying attention to everything. Mm-hmm. He walks in. He goes, "Hey, what's the score?" "I don't know, Daddy." "Because you're not paying attention. Oh. Pay attention." And I could see the frustration because the kid's kind of messing around. He's out doing. You're up the bat. Get ready. See what's going on. Get loosened up a little bit. Yeah. Where's your bat? Where's your glove? Where's this? Kind of chaos. Yeah. Like get in there. I get to see it's a dynamic of the different dads and moms with the kids and at their skill level, and some were happy the whole time. Some sit back and were kind of frustrated, like you're not paying attention.
Or you're struggling.
And it costs money.
Hard, man.
You're costing money. I'm here. It's fucking Saturday afternoon. Like, we need you. Pay attention.
It's stressful on the parents, too.
Yeah,
man.
pay attention. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Dude, I spent a lot of money this past weekend. We were in Chicago for the hockey tournament. My daughter was in Columbus, Ohio for a soccer game.
Yeah.
It's not a tournament. They had 2 games. Dude,
it's a lot.
It's just a lot, but it comes with the territory, man.
We traveled too, man. Shit. You know what I mean? It's part of it. It's part of it. So it was a good weekend. I watched a lot of hockey, man. I love the fucking 11 o'clock game, and then the 2 o'clock, and then the 4 o'clock, and the 7 o'clock.
They stagger them really well. Yeah,
that was awesome.
Hey, before we get into that, what'd you think of the whole Arizona situation? And I know we had Tyson Nash on with us last week. Alex Morello had his press conference with Gary. I've seen him do some other stuff as well. And
what do I think about
Ryan Smith had his press conference. It's just like, people are ready to move on now because it's like at the end of the day, it's still Arizona. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, no one really cared about Arizona in the last couple of years because of the situation they put themselves in. So finally, they're out of the mess. I love how the PA really pressured and the owners pressured Gary to be like, hey, dude, enough is enough. Get this team out of there. This is embarrassing. They're not making us any money. I mean, could you imagine if Arizona made the playoffs this year?
No, I know. We talked about that.
It
got awful.
And they would have to play in that building. So I just love the fact that they got them out of there.
Now, this rink ain't much better. So
well, they're going to renovate it for what it sounds like. And you got a billionaire owner who's going to renovate it.
Next year?
I would imagine he'll get right after it, man. There's some type of agreement in place of when they got to have this done.
I think it's just, there's going to be seats just like the Brooklyn, when they made that rink in Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. And you have to take an elevator.
No, there's going to be some seats that are going to be obstructed.
Big time.
But dude, even back in the day when the Coyotes were playing in America West Arena.
Yeah.
Back in the Kachuk.
JR.
Tempo Newmanen.
Who else?
Ty Domi. No, he didn't play there. He was in Winnipeg. He didn't come over there with him. Did Solani come over there with him? No, he didn't either.
No, that was we're missing a couple big boys.
Oh yeah. No, Dallas Drake.
Okay. But anyway, that was their peak.
There's a bunch of guys.
That was certainly their peak.
And they had some good teams. But I used to go down to games. I was, living in Flagstaff. We'd drive down, hour and a half, 2 hours, go catch a game every once in a while. And there was lots of seats in that building where you couldn't see either. And they just been a mess. Listen, this guy Alex Morello, I know people are piling on him. I'm not sure we know the real story. I feel like he inherited such a mess. He's the last owner who couldn't get it done, but he's not the first owner who couldn't get it done. They've had a shit ton of guys trying to buy the team or who did buy the team, and really led to them being in this situation again. He wanted to build a building. Obviously, he couldn't get it done. So if you want to chirp him for not being able to get it done, fine. You can't defend that.
No.
But I don't blame him for not wanting to sign a 20-year lease to stay in Glendale. And if they said, hey, you got to sign a 20-year lease, and if you don't, we're going to kick you out, and he didn't believe them because they're their main tenant, how are you going to recover any of that money? And all of a sudden they kick him out, and now they're left with nowhere to go. They had it placed somewhere.
So is Arizona going to be the next expansion team?
I guess.
Probably.
We'll see. I mean, Gary Bettman must have thought, and I think he's suggested this, that Alex Morella was the only one that could get this done. That there's nobody else that could get this done. I mean, I don't know if people are knocking on Gary's door being like, hey, I've got $1 billion. I want to own an NHL team in Arizona.
I would.
Are there other people doing that?
I would.
I'm just asking. Are there people doing that?
Don't know. But if I had a couple Billy and I wanted to own a hockey team, hell yeah.
And let me just say this.
Jumping on that
the 5-year plan, where it's like written in the agreement or whatever, the agreement that Morello has with the NHL where he's got 5 years essentially to get this arena situation figured out, and then they bring hockey back to the Valley. That's not all that uncommon. A lot of times when you see purchase agreements in the NHL, it happen here in St. Louis, where the guy selling will often have written in the contract, hey, within 5 years they can buy the team back from the person they're selling it to.
Yeah.
If they're in some type of financial distress or whatever, that's leading to them selling. Or the league is like getting in and saying, hey, you can't own the team anymore. This is like, we're paying your bills and doing all this shit. You got to sell the team. So it's not all that uncommon. And it doesn't ever really happen where the guy all of a sudden, within 5 years, comes up with the money or has the ability to buy the team back. That just never happens. Especially when you sell it to an owner and you have it in good hands. The league is not going to allow the team to go back into somebody who's just going to, fuck it all up again.
I just hope they build a badass rink in Salt Lake City. Build it up. Build up a fan base.
I think they're going to renovate it. They want to get baseball there.
Yeah.
But
what about the people in Canada complaining about Quebec City and whatnot? Like, what's your take on that? Does Canada need another team?
Well, I will say during the playoffs, I love watching these games that are played in
Winnipeg.
Canada. Oh my god,
that was pretty cool.
Winnipeg couldn't get any fans early in the year. Now they've got like thousands of fans hanging out outside the building.
Yeah, exactly.
And they got the whiteout inside.
Looked pretty cool.
Vancouver, unreal. You were probably sleeping. Unreal atmosphere last night in Vancouver.
I saw it.
I mean, they hadn't hosted a playoff game in several years. Edmonton's going to be crazy here tonight.
Yeah, baby.
So I like. Toronto's going to be nuts. Although they're all upset, they're panicking.
They're panicking.
It's like it's one game. Although the way they lost and how they lost, and I mean, I don't know. It can listen. Colorado's a similar situation. Although Winnipeg has Connor Hellebuck, who's probably going to win the Vezina Trophy. His second Vezina, by the way. This guy's building quite the resume. Good. But he still gave up 6 goals, and Georgiev. Colorado outshot Winnipeg like 46-23. They score 6 goals and you can't win.
I know.
This Georgiev's letting 7 goals in on 23 shots.
It's not good.
I think he led the NHL in wins this year, which shouldn't be a surprise because Colorado was one of the top teams in the league, and he had a save percentage of like 89%.
Yeah, it ain't good.
So listen, if you have goaltending question marks, or you have average goaltending, I just don't see too many teams winning the Stanley Cup with average goaltending.
Remember you said who are you concerned about? Like, I wouldn't want to play fucking Winnipeg.
Yeah. Well, and then they finished the season red hot.
Red hot, dude. And now you're up there for 4 days.
Go look at Georgiev's last 5 or 6 starts in the regular season. This guy was letting in 6 goals, 6 goals, 4 goals here, 4 goals there. I think he had 1 game maybe in the last 6-7 starts that he had where he allowed 3 goals or less. And where Hellebuck, he had a couple shutouts in there his last 5 or 6 starts, had some 1-goal games, 2-goal games. So, listen, you can see the trends, who's playing well down the stretch. Toronto, man, not having William Nylander is huge. This guy's been their best playoff player the last couple of years.
Because his last game, he was getting chirped, especially by Toronto Baghead.
Yeah, you like that dude, huh?
He's too much at times, but I laugh. I don't give a fuck. But there's a couple plays like the last game when they're trying to get Matthews 70, and he just didn't skate at all. Like the puck's right there, and he's just like, ugh, what do I do? And they just turned it back up, got a breakaway, scored the other way. Like he just.
What do you mean?
Nylander.
What do you do? Oh, Nylander.
Nylander.
Because he's just trying to get the puck to Matthews, or what?
No, he just wasn't trying. and they isolated him.
Maybe he was hurt.
Well, then fucking get off the ice because you look terrible.
He got hurt in this last game.
Well, then get off the ice.
That's why he's not playing right
get
now.
off the ice.
And they're not going to tell you what the injury is.
I mean, it's just like a couple things. It's like, ooh, it's just not a good look. It's not a good mindset when you see that kind of stuff. The last game of the year going right into fucking playoff
I was just
mode,
wondering, Jim Montgomery, and it's amazing, man. This guy really should be a Jack Adams finalist again this year because they lost Krejci, they lost Bergeron. He's got him, back in a great position, over 100 points. Nearly won the division.
Yeah, it didn't change much.
But he signed a 3-year deal. This is year 2. We'll see where things go with a potential contract extension with Jim Montgomery. If he goes deep into the playoffs, if he has a deep playoff run here, I think the organization's going to be obligated to meet his contractual demands. But that's not a guarantee. Their owner has never been a guy that really... I could see him not wanting to pay a coach market value for a guy who's won the Jack Adams and had a historic season last year, even though they lost in the first round of the playoffs. Historic regular season, President's Trophy this year, well over 100 points. He's probably got a number in mind that he feels like he deserves to get paid. And I can tell you there are a number of teams, and I bet you St. Louis is one of them. I mean, I can say it now. Doug Armstrong has had his press conference. He's got a small list of people that he's identified that he wants to talk to. He said some coaches are currently unavailable because their teams are playing in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
He did say that.
What is going to happen with Jim Montgomery? Is he the long-term coach in Boston? Or if Toronto comes back and wins this series, or even if they lose in the second round, are the Boston Bruins as an organization, Cam, are they committed to Jim Montgomery long-term?
I don't think anybody gives a fuck right now. They need to win. Mm-hmm. They're focused on beating the Toronto Maple Leafs. I don't think anybody's thinking about that right now. Mm-hmm. They looked pretty damn good the other night. Yeah. They did. Even Patty's jumping into play, making plays.
He got an assist, had a big hit.
He barely touched that.
But
was it Luchuskin or whatever?
Montgomery's one of the best coaches in the league, is what I'm saying.
I just don't think
I would hope they
right
wouldn't. Well, it's relevant to a team like St. Louis and for the fans here because they're looking for a coach. If he becomes a free agent, Cam, all of a sudden, shit. There's going to be a lot of
like him a lot, man. Jimmy Montgomery's a great guy.
And he's got roots here in St. Louis, for beyond just being an assistant coach here. He's got a long history here in St. Louis. Yeah,
he does. I did watch the Rangers and the Caps play. Rimpey, just the first fucking shift, he goes and he kind of buries the guy a little bit from behind, but it wasn't too bad. And they called him off for a penalty, boarding, I guess. And I'm like, God damn it, man, this is going to be one of these games. Mm-hmm. They got to set the tone. We got to control everything off the bat. We got to control Matt Rimpey.
But you got to control your emotions too, man.
No, but he barely hit the guy. It wasn't that big of a deal. It wasn't that big of a deal. I'm like, oh, fuck. And then Rimpey goes back out there, skates the puck all the way up the ice, kicks it wide, goes right to the net. Puck goes right where he needs to be, right where he was supposed to be.
He buries it.
He buries it. The place goes nuts. His mom was in town. He's from that small town, probably outside of Calgary somewhere, I guess. And he's in New York City with his mom. And he's walking around going to restaurants, probably high-fiving everybody. Yeah. His mom's probably like, we're at the Big Apple. And my son is getting...
The Empire State Building.
And my son is getting recognized from people in New York City everywhere he goes. Mm-hmm. So fucking cool, man. Yeah. I like that kid a lot.
He's got a great story, too. His dad passed away a few years back.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I was wondering why he didn't talk about his daddy.
Yeah, his dad passed away a few years back. They were really very close.
You know how?
He got sick, man.
Something happened. Cancer and stuff?
I must have been, I don't know.
Damn, I didn't know that.
I remember reading about it when he first came up to the NHL this season.
So you can
go look up that story. I should remember, but,
But how cool is that, man? They go crazy for him. They talk about him the whole time. But he's making plays. Mm-hmm. Like he's playing hockey. And he's a force to be reckoned with. God, Ovi didn't do a fucking thing. Oof. Didn't even notice him.
Well, they're overmatched. They're a wow. Is
that not a fair thing to say? I didn't notice.
I mean,
Alexander Ovechkin.
No, they're going to lose.
They're going to get killed.
Yeah.
They're going to get killed, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're
can't deal with that. They're so deep.
No, they are.
They're loaded.
They are overmatched.
They're overmatched
in that playoff series, and I think making the playoffs based on their regular season was an accomplishment.
I'll give Charlie Lindgren a shout out.
And I like their coach, dude.
I do too.
And I think that
I do too.
Spencer Carberry, he's a guy I like listening to after games.
So do I.
I think he's
smart.
He's interesting to talk to.
He's doing something right. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You get that team
and they probably miss him in Toronto. Because I don't know what's going to happen with Sheldon Keefe either. I mean, listen, I don't know what's going to happen. I think if you're a guy like Chief who's going to be at the top of a lot of teams' list, same with Rob Brindamore. I don't know how that whole situation is going to.
I can't see them letting him go.
I mean, I agree,
Right,
but
it's
you
ridiculous.
just never know. But at some point, his loyalty to the city and the organization can only go so far.
Yeah, but you're winning, dude.
Right,
Like,
I know.
You're pretty fucking solid every single year, and the players love him.
But
what do you think of that series?
If you're underpaid, do you just allow a team just to continue to underpay you? I mean, don't you at some point say, you know what, listen, I love the organization.
Depends.
I love the city. I don't want to leave here.
No.
But I'm not going to allow you just to kind of like treat me like I'm
I deserve, this is what I deserve.
Yeah. Because, Tom Dundon looks at his team differently than a major market team will look at their organization or a Canadian. Like, they don't have the same type of revenues. They are more of they're a mid-market, small market team. So he runs his team and pays his employees accordingly based on how he views the team from a market size standpoint. You know what I mean?
And that's fair, but I think they're doing pretty well. Like they're packed all the
they're
fucking
one of my
time.
favorite teams to watch.
They're fun, dude.
They're going deep. They're a
Casey.
hell of a team.
Casey.
They got everything, dude.
Svechnikov is awesome.
As long as they can get that goaltending from Freddie.
Yeah.
They're in good shape. But, I just think there's a lot of intrigue, man, in terms of teams that, get bounced early. You got the Sheldon Keefe situation going on there, too. I don't know. There's a lot of pressure.
Fucking Islanders, I felt like they remind me like of when Andy plays in the alumni skates, where all of a sudden he'll get the puck and have some space, and he'll just duff that puck right into the goalie's chest. I mean, every single time. Like, go Andy! One of those. Like, I felt like the Islanders were doing that every single time, just shooting right in the chest. It was really weird.
That's not a playoff series that I like watching Carolina, but
it was a boring game.
I like watching them more now after the trade deadline when they got Coetzee
and they got
Gensel. But they've always been, and they've got some young players, man, that I like watching a lot, man. And, we've had Jacob Slavin on and stuff like that. So,
Jarvis, all those guys.
Oh, Seth Jarvis, who looks like he's 30, but he's like 21 years old.
What about...
he's got some personality, too.
Yeah, he's cool.
I like Carolina, but Carolina, New York, if there's another game on, I'm not watching your series. I'm sorry.
What about Tampa, Florida?
Let's go. Hopefully it goes 7 games.
So do I, man. Beat the fuck. Yeah. I hope it gets crazy.
Yeah.
I hope they get fucking pissed at each other. I hope it's a shit show. I do.
Oh, it will be.
I want it to be a shit show.
It will be.
Entertain us, man. Sheldon Keefe is taking a beating from people. As usual, he does. He takes a beating. But some of the comments, I guess he said, was Matthews was a distraction.
Well, I'm trying to...
that is a distraction. It is.
You got to understand what he's saying. He's not like reducing the accomplishment.
No.
Or saying it doesn't mean anything to him personally if Matthews were to get 70.
Yeah.
He wants to give him every opportunity to get 70. But in a market like Toronto, it's all everyone's talking about, and he's trying to get his team focused on winning a Stanley Cup.
Yeah, dude.
And getting our team playing the right way and getting them, mentally prepared. They're in the right mindset to go win 4 rounds in the Stanley Cup playoffs, where everybody else is just making it about this, individual accomplishment.
It's actually the worst thing to happen your last couple games.
But if you got 70, it doesn't change anything anyway.
Nothing. Changes nothing. Focus on the task in hand. This is a new animal coming your way, man.
Yeah. And he's coaching for his, probably job security.
Damn right he is.
In that market.
Too, They both are. This is a big playoff series.
How many lives does Shanny have, you think?
Not many more. And we love him. But not much more.
You think he's got one more coach?
I think they're going to tear it down. According to what everybody's saying up there, because I listen to all those guys up there, man. Because we root for, man, we love the Canadians, Yeah. I'm just curious about what's going on, what their mindset is. I'm hearing that, dude. They're going to fucking
They're just not that good, though. Like, they got a lot of good players, but they're not a great team. They've got question marks in goal. They're going to end up using both goaltenders. I mean, you had to have known that coming into the series. I just don't see Samsonov as a guy who's going to be able to ride the wave and just be the guy. You're going to have to use and turn to Joseph Woll at some point.
Yeah, you are.
And then maybe go back to Samsonov.
Samsonov.
I've been calling him Samsonov for his whole career. And
Samsonite?
Samsonov.
Swanson?
So, Hey, the World Championships, man, real quick, because it's not that ever really on anybody's radar. But this year is a little bit different. You got a lot of good players that are going to be playing. Team USA is going to have Brady playing, Johnny Hockey, Cole Caulfield, our boy Lukey Cunning's playing.
Lukey, baby, what up?
Tage Thompson's playing. Luke Hughes is playing. You got a lot of good players.
That'd be cool.
Connor Bedard's going to play for Canada.
Where's it at?
I think Prague.
Oh, cool.
Connor Bedard's going to play.
Yeah, Benner.
Jordan Binnington. Steve Ott, by the way, I'll give him a shout out. He's going to be named later on this week as an assistant coach for Team Canada.
Get right out of town.
Get out of here.
Fucking A, Stevie Ott, little shout out, baby. What's up? And then Doobie, too, involved?
He's like involved with the management staff.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Army, Doobie.
I wonder if Joel Hofer's the other
Otter?
will be the other goalie. I didn't ask about that because he played last year. They should just go with a Blues tandem.
Because usually we don't really care about the World Championships,
Never.
let's be honest.
But you know what? More and more players are looking to participate, I think.
Would you want to do that
because
after
you've got that Four Nations deal coming up. You've got the Olympics coming up. I just think it's probably good to step up.
Because most years, like if you even if you don't make the playoffs, like the fucking year is such a grind. Like it's such a grind.
Well, if you're a veteran guy, like hey,
and you're like,
you've gone before,
and you're like, man, I just want to fuck golf.
Yeah,
I want to relax my bones.
Hurting.
I want to relax my bones.
But if you're Brady Tkachuk, and
you're not settled yet, like you need
more.
Well,
like he wants to win, probably. You know what I'm saying?
What would Brady say the other day? He's so fucking cool and humble, man. He's so cool. He's like, I've been here for 6 years and I haven't accomplished shit.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what Nathan McKinnon said a few years back. Remember?
I haven't accomplished shit. That's what he said.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
but I like what he said because
I like him.
I think when Pierre Dorian was there, and our boy from Windsor, DJ Smith.
Yep. Yoink!
Yoink!
You're ruining it.
Dude, you're splashing everywhere. Matt's going to have to clean up.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Sorry, Matty.
No, I'm not.
What's Matty's last name?
What's your last name, Matty?
He doesn't have one.
Usually I call somebody the nickname and I just forget their name altogether.
Me too.
His name's not Matty either. It's Matt, but I call him Matty.
Did you hear what Brady said?
What?
Because I think when Pierre Dorian was there and DJ Smith was there, I think Brady was like so involved in all the decision making and whatever, and like they would like talk to him about, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. What do you think of this? What do you think of that? Like he was always involved.
And Snoop Dogg was gonna be involved.
And I think now he's like, you know what? I don't want to be involved.
No, I want to play.
I'm going to let management make the decisions that they feel like they need to make. Hey, listen, pay attention to the Brady situation. I don't know how it's going to play out. I talked about this a couple weeks ago. I think he's got one more year until his no move kicks in. In other words, Ottawa, you got one more year to figure this out. Because if you don't, and once his no move kicks in, now if you're Brady, now you can go to the team and be like, I want out of here, and now I'm going to be able to dictate where I go. Mm-hmm. You say you want out now, they can just move you wherever. You know what I'm saying? Wherever they get the best deal. You've got no control over it. So I don't think Brady Tkachuk is at that point now because just how his contract reads, you're probably going to wait until you have a no-move clause before you decide, hey, it's probably best if I take my talents elsewhere to South Beach.
It might be that time.
Hear me out right now. Florida Panthers, they will give up everything, including the kitchen sink, except Matthew and Barkov.
Reinhardt.
I don't know. He's got a contract extension looming. We'll see what.
You can get rid of him?
Let me ask you this. No, I would not. I mean, he scored a goal the other night.
No shit.
He had 54 maybe.
Yeah. Yep.
27 power play goals.
Cool.
What do you pay him?
$8 million.
Okay. Like he's never sniffed 50
pay him
before,
$8 million.
Right? So
what's Hyman gonna make?
Well, he's got a contract.
Until when?
Yeah, he signed a 7-year deal a few years back before he got to Edmonton. He's got a great deal.
He signed a big ticket.
Mm-hmm. So
$8 million.
So you give him 8.
That's about right.
You're not gonna be able to pay him for less than 8. But I mean, yeah.
That's
so,
fine.
but
he's
which is
more.
Closer to like 9.5 when you're living in Florida.
Florida.
And I would want to stay there. They got a hell of a team, got a good thing going.
Shit,
Everyone talks about like Hyman. Remember where that guy flipped out because saying that he's just rich and all that type of stuff. You know?
It helps.
But, you know, he just lives off of McDavid. And
I don't know
all
how
those
people
guys.
reacted to us saying it on YouTube because it kind of blew up.
Oh, yeah?
I didn't really look at the comments.
I didn't really either.
I'm just saying.
Cam comments, though. I like how you get back.
I got to get back and say what's up. It's all usually positive.
But Reinhart, dude, you don't think he benefits from being on that power play? He's got 27 power play goals, and he's playing with Barkov and Kachuk.
Hey, man, when your power play is solid, dude, that's people play differently against you.
How many goals do you think he'll score next year?
40.
You do.
With that team?
I can see him scoring like
37. They're loaded, dude. They're loaded.
They are loaded.
They're loaded.
But like Matthew, his goal production will go back up next year.
Sure.
Still finished with like 90 points or something like that.
Pretty dang good. But
I don't think he got to 30 goals. You know what I'm saying? He's a 40-goal scorer all day. Matthew?
I just wish that these guys didn't play each other in the first round. I don't know.
You don't like the playoff format?
Nah, I don't.
See, everyone complains about it when like Toronto has a tough matchup.
I don't give a fuck about that.
But when the Blues had to play Chicago every year when they both had like well over 100 points, no one said a damn word.
Yeah, like the Kings too, maybe. Times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 1 through 8 would be this old school. Like the best against the worst, kind of, you know.
So I'm looking forward now. We got to get through like game 3.
Yeah.
To really know where we're at.
Yeah, I get that.
You know, where both teams host a home game.
Is Landeskog close?
I don't think so, dude.
This sucks.
They can win without him.
I know, but is he not even skating?
But they don't have a goaltender.
I know, but you get that fucking leader back. I don't know when that's going to be, but you know, who else just got hurt?
They scored 6 goals on Hellebuck, though, man.
They did, exactly.
Shit.
Fucking 6 goals on the best goalie in the league.
Don't get too comfortable, Winnipeg, because you're going to lose some games here. You're going to have to be able to.
Do you want Winnipeg to go to the second round?
I don't know. They're kind of fun. Can I say this?
Yeah.
I think the most underrated captain in the league, my favorite captain, is Dave Lowry's son.
Oh, God.
Adam Lowry.
I had it written down.
Dude, this guy is fucking awesome.
He is awesome. Shit
Adam
kicker.
Lowry.
Badass. Shout out.
See, that's where Winnipeg gets it right. If I'm a GM out there.
Good call on that.
You identify that guy.
Damn right.
To put the C on his jersey.
He's like mucking it up, baby. He'll cross-check you.
He scores
huge.
big goals.
Scores big goals out there in important situations.
He's a leader, man. So
shit kicker, dude.
All these other guys have been the face of Winnipeg all these years.
Yeah.
With Wheeler when he was there, Scheifele, you know, Trouba when he was there before. Bufflin when he was there.
God, Bufflin.
You know, and, you know, you got Kyle Connor, you know, sniping, who I love watching that kid play.
Cool.
He's a quiet assassin.
Yeah, no one talks about him. He's damn
like
good.
Jake
He killed
Gensel
the Blues.
or something. Oh, yeah.
Killed the Blues.
One-timer. He scores in different ways.
Yeah.
Number 81. My kid wears 81, too.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? Yep.
He's,
I like it.
I like Kyle Connor, man. He's quiet. Kyle Connor led the USHL in scoring when he was a junior player, and then goes to Michigan his freshman year, leads the nation in scoring. Was like a mid to late first-round pick, I think.
Fuck, he's your size.
He looks like he weighs about 140 pounds.
I know.
Very long neck.
Red hair.
Blonde.
Is it?
I think so. And just
got a reddish tint.
He's just a hockey player, man.
Yeah, I like Winnipeg.
He's a natural-born goal scorer.
But do you want Winnipeg to advance, or do you want to see Nathan McKinnon? I mean,
dude,
and we're just fans talking.
I don't.
We don't have skin in the game.
I do not feel that way, where I have to see Nathan McKinnon.
Okay.
Because I think Winnipeg's good, man. I think they've got a good team. And I like that Bones. I like that coach.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I get you.
They're fun to watch. And Winnipeg, as a city, it's not going to create headlines on SportsCenter, but I don't even watch SportsCenter.
No, but I feel for the fans.
But the fans of Winnipeg, they're just cool, man.
They've been through bullshit, dude. They've lost teams. Yeah. They got them back. Yeah. They do this. They do that.
Colorado won a cup a couple years ago, and I don't care.
Okay.
That makes sense. Their goaltender, is average.
And you know what? Like...
they may very well end up being in the conference final before it's all said and done. I'm not counting out Colorado.
And remember Winnipeg, by the way, like was it last year, a couple years ago, we were like, well, we don't know if we're going to sign. They were going to tear the whole team apart. And they're like, no, we'll re-sign our captain and we'll re-sign Hellebuck. And then everything kind of turned. Because everybody's saying they're going to trade away. Remember Hellebuck? Would the Devils sign him? Would this? Mm-hmm. We're like, damn, dude, they're really going to fucking tear that team down. And they didn't. And now look at them. They've been fucking consistent all year long, dude. It's not easy up there to play. It's not easy to go play up there, dude.
Where?
In Winnipeg.
Yeah.
As an opposing team, going up there for 4 days, it ain't easy.
I got you.
That building's not easy to deal with.
Yeah, 2019, the Blues went
not to mention, the benches suck.
Didn't they win the first 2 games there?
Yeah, dude. The benches suck. You have to skate all the other.
Yes,
I hate
cross.
that.
The coaches have to walk
How
across
stupid
the ice.
is that? Fucking Montreal's the same way.
I know.
Still,
But, that's like
what is that?
I will say one of the best experiences of my life
What?
was walking across that ice in Montreal. I had to walk to the bench to do a bench interview for our pregame show.
Oh.
And I just dude, all the fans are there before warm-ups. It's like they're packed.
Packed.
It was like a religious experience, man. I'm not trying to be like,
I know I played there.
I know, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't. And I get to walk across that.
Yeah.
It's with like 20,000. It's a different.
It's awesome.
Different energy, as you know, inside that.
And the beginning, like their warm up when they play this Coldplay song leading up to when I don't know if they still do it or not, but God, you're sitting on the bench and you see the Canadians come out and it's like, God, the music's going red, like people going crazy. You're like, God.
I think I interviewed Patrick Berglund,
Berg Dog,
and their stage manager.
It's our boy.
They're so thoughtful. He took a picture of it. It's got a packed house, Montreal.
I tell you this,
all the banners hanging in the picture.
Everybody that works at these buildings, man, they're all so nice, dude.
So cool.
All the good, hard-working, blue-collar people that work at all these buildings are the nicest fucking people in the world. Even to opposing teams, even if I went out there and elbowed the guy, doesn't matter. They're so nice and sweet. Canadians are cool as shit. Now, the fans are different, but the people that work at these places are so cool, man. Calgary, all of them, so nice. I told you when I went to Calgary with the team, like all the people that work there, I kind of forgot who
Calgary,
they
were.
They all came up, Cam, how you doing, Cam? Man, I miss you. You were so nice.
Those people don't leave. They stay there. They work there forever.
And I'm like, I know you. Yeah. That's right. I remember you. They were so nice, dude. Yeah. Simple man, I told you.
All right, listen, Todd McLellan, man. Remember him?
Yeah.
Got off to an amazing start with
they wouldn't lose
LA
on the road.
And then they lost like 14 of like 16 games or something crazy. I don't know. We're going to find out. He's coming on this edition of the Cam and Strick podcast.
What happens?
When you may have to just leave. Do you mind if I do this interview by myself?
I know. Here's Andy and I know. Cam, I don't need you on this one.
No, we're good. You know?
Although this is more of there's a lot of little details that you know more than I do about him. Like it's stuff like looking up stuff on Todd.
Yeah,
and really,
but no,
I'm just going to shoot the shit with him.
Honestly, I just want to shoot the shit.
I like picking coaches' brains.
You know he wants to coach again.
Yes.
Made a lot of money as a coach.
Yes.
He was the highest paid coach in the league until Mike Babcock
signed that monster ticket.
Babs.
With fucking Toronto. And he knows Babs too. They fucking won a Stanley Cup together.
I know they did.
Oh wait, baby.
Yeah, and he and
talk about dad.
McLellan was on some of those teams at the tail end. I think he was coaching when Yzerman was still there, like Yzerman's last year.
Oh really?
Shanahan.
Ooh, our boy
Lidstrom.
Okay. I wish we could find a way to announce who we're having on and have all the fans, which we have a ton of them,
ask questions. I don't like doing that.
No, I know.
I know a lot of people do out there. But there's like, what should I ask them?
No, wait. They'll always have something that will be like, whoa, that's a good one.
But normally, my opinion, and I could be wrong, when people ask that, it's because they don't know what to ask. So they're
there's a lot of stuff I don't know how to ask.
I'm just saying.
Don't act like you know everything either.
But like just...
No, because there's a guy that religiously...
That's why.
No.
That's why they throw it out
now you're
there.
denouncing our fans. No.
No.
I get what you're saying to a point.
Yeah.
But some of these motherfuckers have been watching him since day one.
Yeah,
there's always somebody. And they're like, Cam, this happened, blah, 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 blah. Ask them about that.
Right.
You're like, whoa, okay, that's a good one.
I know, but I'm saying, you know
Don't
how...
denounce our fans and their intelligence.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying some podcasters out there, when they're having a guest on, will be like, I'm interviewing so-and-so today. What should I ask him?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I get you on that.
I'm not talking about the fans. I'm talking about...
No, but you are...
I'm talking about some interviewers who throw that out there.
True.
Do that so
there's
because
always
they're not sure
somebody
what to ask.
That knows something about something that they could...
That's where Cam, he can't follow... So he's like, you're denouncing the fans. No, follow me.
No, I did. And you're still denouncing the fans thinking that they don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
No, the fans would have great questions to ask, but I don't have to rely. I don't want to feel like you have to rely on the fans.
No one's relying.
That's what you would do.
No, what are you talking about?
Do your own research.
I did. But it's coaches are a little bit more difficult.
You think your boy, who's the guy? Who's the guy from Fox News that just interviewed Putin?
Oh, Tucker?
You think Tucker does that on hey guys, what should I ask Putin? What should I ask the governor of Colorado? No, they don't do that.
I would say they gather as,
Do you
as
think
much.
Larry King back in the day would be
Dude,
like,
am I fucking Larry fucking
I'm having
King?
the president of Ghana.
Like, do you think there's only so much I can look up about this Todd McLellan? Like, don't get me wrong.
I'm having the president of Ghana.
You know what I
on.
mean?
What should I ask him?
How's that slave labor with children to get all the
when I see
minerals for our phones?
Okay. Well, when I see people ask that, I know what they're doing. They don't know what to ask, so they're asking. Nothing wrong with it, but that's just not my style.
You're the best.
No, I'm just saying,
it is what it is,
dude.
Like there's not. I mean, you could only with coaches. It's a little different. It's hard to go step by step with everything that went down. Can't look up highlights on them and be like, "Hey, do you remember this part?"
Put it out there on Twitter right now.
Nah, no, I don't do that either. I'm not doing that.
That's what I'm saying.
No, but if we did like if we talked about it first and then we release this and then I don't know somehow they just say, hey, remember when this happened?
But that's different. If it happens organically, where they're like, "Hey, ask them about this."
Yeah, but we just can't do that.
When you're asking for questions to ask.
Yeah.
I get other media send me text messages. I'm having so-and-so. What should I ask them? I don't like that.
Oh, God, no.
Like local media.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly who you're talking about.
So that's where I'm going with this. So understand, I'm not denouncing our fans.
I get you.
Know where I'm going with it.
Better not.
So now you know. Oh, fuck.
I'm joking with you, dude. I'm joking with you. Because anytime we...
so you know what I'm saying now?
Because anytime we...
you know what I'm saying now?
Yeah. Anytime we post something, they're like, "Hey, Cam, ask this." I'm like, "Well, we already did the interview."
I know. No, those are. I like.
And I'm like,
those.
"Damn, that would have been a good one."
No, I like that.
That's all I'm saying.
But when somebody like is having an interview and they send you a text message or message, what should I ask him? Give me 5 things to ask him. Like what?
Yeah, I get you.
Okay. Sometimes I answer those questions and I'll help them out.
Yeah,
I don't mind doing that.
No, but we like getting the coaches on, man. I love picking coaches' brains.
Yes.
What do you think of this? What about this guy?
I bet you he's. I know he's got some travels this week. I bet you he's going to be going to watch some playoff games. Maybe who knows?
He's keeping his head.
Rob Blake is going to be. He's under the gun too.
He's what now?
Under the gun.
Oh yeah.
Well, I would think they gave Todd McLellan a contract extension.
I know.
Right before they fired him.
Just a year though, right?
Yeah, I know, but still.
Isn't that weird? Just a year.
A little bit. When you're like having a great start, but I guess maybe they were in the midst of their losing when they got the contract extension.
Well, that's weird too.
But like, what a stupid decision. I mean, no offense to Todd. I mean, I'm glad he got the security, but like, why are they giving him an extension?
Don't know. Usually, you get at least a 2-year deal.
Right. We're gonna give you a 1-year deal.
Let me ask you something about the Blues.
Go ahead.
Drew Bannister.
Yeah.
Percentage on he's going to be the coach or not?
Okay, so someone asked me that. Did he ask you that too?
Who?
The media guy.
That's a legit question.
He sent me a text and asked me that. What's the percentage?
No, but that's a legit question for the Blues fans out here.
Okay, I don't want to. There's no percentage because here's the deal. I'll answer it like this.
Okay.
He's not their plan A. So if plan A falls through, then he certainly is a plan B. So what's the percentage they get plan A? And I'm putting more than one person in the category of plan A.
Who are they?
Don't want to go there right now.
Okay. Who do you think they are?
I think there are
Monty?
A few people. I think there's a few people.
Joel in the mix?
I think Jay Woodcroft could be in the mix.
Oh, really?
I think he could be.
Our boy we're talking to?
I think Todd McLellan could be in the mix.
That's all I wanted to get out of you.
Yeah.
That's a legit question.
Yeah. No, I know.
It's not like me fucking looking at Twitter.
No. But it's not about like the percentage of. I had a few people ask me that, and it's a fair question. I don't mean to be like that. What's the percentage of Drew Banner? It's not about a percentage. It's like, are they able to get a couple other players?
No, it all calculates the same way though.
That they find attractive. This is an incredibly, without stating the obvious, this is an incredibly important hire for the Blues and for Doug Armstrong. You missed the playoffs 2 years in a row. They have to get it right. They know they have to get it right.
Can I ask you a trivia question?
Yeah.
Who's a current coach right now that has the most wins without a Stanley Cup?
Well, let's get to it. I'm going to say Paul Maurice.
You're dang right. I root for him. I do.
Oh, I love Paul.
I hope
he's been to the final.
I hope Florida wins.
He's been to the final.
I know.
Yeah.
I hope Florida wins.
Me too.
I truly do.
Big shout out to Matthew Tkachuk, who just got engaged, by the way.
Maddie, what up, baby? What's up? What's up? What's up?
So
I root for Paul Maurice. He seems cool as shit.
yeah.
I love his post-game interviews. I like how he conducts himself.
Oh, yeah.
He's fucking awesome.
No, he's awesome.
Paul Maurice.
His players like him too.
Yeah.
And he knew to get the hell out of there in Winnipeg. Now they made some changes, addition by subtraction. Getting rid of some guys.
Yeah.
It just feels like a different team now.
I like that team.
Are you coming to Ty's birthday party?
Where is it?
It's in a few weeks. It's going to be at a rink. We're going to play hockey.
Yeah. I did skate with Ty. We were drinking Bloody Marys.
That was on Christmas Eve.
Come on.
Yeah, I know. That's my Christmas bash.
Well, you chirped me. I forgot I even did that.
Yeah. That
I'm
wasn't
a one-ton man with baseball, soccer, hockey, gymnastics, everything. Girls, boys, they want me to go to everything.
Don't ever think I'm chirping our fans. I love our fans.
We do love our fans. We do, big time. We do, big time.
The best fans. I told Cam, listen, and you're going to see it in the video. I told him when he walked in, you can't wear that hat during the McLellan interview. You could wear it, but
Put your foot up on this thing.
Oh, sure.
Nasty. I bet you those stink after the day. How can they not?
Dude, it is nice.
You don't sweat, do you? You're not a sweater, are you?
Sure I am. I mean, not a big one.
If I wore
no,
those sandals,
not like you, dude.
If I wore,
you're like a Neanderthal.
They would be just ruined. I'm gross.
You are. I'm not like
it's
that.
not good.
No.
I don't mean to be.
Yeah.
I'm a clean guy,
Mm-hmm.
but I just sweat so bad, dude.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Even like if my shoes only last for a couple months because they start smelling bad.
There's
Even
nothing
with socks
wrong.
on.
Hey, sandal people, let me know. Let me hear from you.
I push you right over.
Oh,
If shit went down right now, say somebody fucking.
you can count on me.
Like I'd be like, fuck Andy, I gotta protect Andy.
You can count on me to be there.
Andy, help me, run over here real quick.
He's tripping all
Let me
over.
trip over him. Oh, I can't.
All right. Hey, First Form and firstform.com, baby.
Yeah. Hell
Use
yeah.
our link, firstform.com/Cam and Strick. You know the drill. And they've got all this new stuff that's out right now. It's absolutely incredible. They've got a new flavor for the energy drinks, too.
I like to scream in
Like,
freedom,
it's
baby.
called, like,
Give me that damn thing.
berry-
Let me see that.
Don't open that.
I'm not.
Oh. I was going to say.
Give me that damn thing.
It's for decoration.
Awesome. Right here, baby. This is 4th of July.
Yeah.
Right there.
You see Nick playing his First Form. Nick was playing a playoff game. I think a championship game last
He was
night.
so sweet to me, man. Like,
What did he say to you?
this is a difference between like, Andy doesn't say happy birthday to me, you know? Like, Andy's my business partner.
What are you talking
Don't
about?
even say happy birthday. Nick.
I brought you a cake.
No, you didn't.
And I said, put it on Instagram.
That just came about. It was kind of cute. My wife
said
even said
happy
it was cute.
birthday to
Nah,
you.
You kind of did. But Nick,
Oh.
literally, texts me. He leaves me a message about how lovely of a person I am, how like humble and nice, and how sweet I am to random people that I don't even know.
Wow.
He went on this on and on, and I listened to it twice over, Andy.
Oh, God.
It made me feel
Twice.
dang.
I think you probably listened to it more than
It
twice.
made me feel.
Was it a cameo? Did you ask Nick?
It made me feel
Did you ask
dang.
First Form Nick for a cameo?
It made me feel.
All
good.
my cameos are open, by the way.
He made me feel
Yeah.
good. Like he truly did.
Yeah, well, dude, that's what he does.
I know. I'm like, I was just
He's-
listening to it. I go, Kate, listen to this.
He did a voice message?
Yeah.
Oh,
this
can
is
you
sweet.
play it? I don't know if I don't want to embarrass him.
Should
But
we do it? I think that I might have. It's so sweet.
he's like the
Look,
best person.
I'm a shit kicker.
He's,
I need that once in a while.
he sent me presents in the mail before.
I like.
Like he
Oh.
like hand carved wood.
Should I
Things.
play it?
Let's hear it. First Form Nick, he's different, man. They all are. at
Son of
First
a
Form.
bitch.
Did you erase it?
Son of a.
Oh
Hold
my
on.
God.
Why ain't it going now? Damn it.
Well, we'll have to listen to it another time, but I'm glad he sent that to you, Cam. He speaks for all of us.
I wonder if my phone's connected to my truck still or something.
I don't
I
know.
leave my no.
You know, he speaks for all
God damn it!
You know,
oh, God.
You know, he
brother,
speaks for all of us.
Dude, listen.
We all feel that way about you.
Listen, we all could look. Even you could be the toughest guy. You could have this. You could have that. You could have whatever. Sometimes you need somebody to be real to you.
Yeah.
It's not fake. It's not like, hey, I gotta do this for Cam because no, like it was so genuine.
Mm-hmm.
And I know the difference because I get all this shit all the time. You get fake stuff, you get
Cam,
this. It made me feel damn good.
Cam
Nick.
acts like
thank you,
he
I love
goes
you.
out of his way on my birthday or whatever. He doesn't do that. So he's like,
I always pump your tires up.
They don't.
Yes, I do. I protect you more than anybody in this fucking city. Yes, I do. You're goddamn right. I am your guy more than anybody else.
All I'm saying, first form Nick, championship game, going to the front of the net. I liked how he's going to the front of the net. That's where you score the greasy goals, Cam. But get those bars. They got a new berry-flavored energy drink out there right now, Cam. I can't wait to try that today. It just came in the mail. Berry-flavored. Have you seen those?
Yeah.
Are you about to pull it out?
No, I haven't.
Well, what are you doing?
No, I already ate it. I had my beef stick.
Oh, gosh. You ate that and Chick-fil-A this morning?
God damn right. I've been up since fucking early as shit, dude. Like, the radio wears me out.
Firstform.com/Camistrick. Get there. Go there. Get the collagen. Get the microfactor. Get the energy drink. Get the bars. Get the apparel.
Hydration.
Get the hydration. Get the fruits. Get the greens. Get it all of it.
Get it all. Be healthy.
Be healthy, man.
Like, I'm not the healthiest
Use
guy
our
in the
link,
world.
though. Only use our link. Firstform.com/Camistrick. Do it and do it today.
I'm not the healthiest guy in the world, but
no, you're not.
the stuff I do that I have with First Form really keeps
you healthy.
Keeps me aligned.
It gets you balanced. Good balance for all the bad stuff you're putting in.
I do have bad stuff.
Yeah, I know. Hat Launch doesn't have anything bad.
Hell no. Hell no.
Hat
Right here,
Launch,
baby.
We got hats and shirts coming out very, very soon.
Yeah.
Say hi to Danny Boy.
Danny, what up?
And Jordan.
Jordan, what's going on,
all
baby?
the crew. They're putting out content all the time. What's up, Hat
all
Launch?
y'all. You do a damn good job with that.
Say what's up to him again. Just
What's up? What's up?
So
what's going on, baby?
You want to customize a hat? Every hat tells a story. Every brand has a story. Put that brand on a hat, man. The number one source for I didn't wear a hat today.
I know.
I meant to. Because my French-Canadian hairdresser cut it really short. She said she was going to be out of town.
Looks fine.
So she's like, I'm going to go really short because she didn't want me cheating on her. She said,
grow your beard out.
Somewhere for the playoffs.
Grow your beard out.
All right. Are you like challenging me?
I just want you to grow your beard out. I've never seen you have a beard.
For the playoffs?
Just grow it out.
Like a playoff beard?
We'll both do it.
And see who can grow the longer beard?
No,
You got to shave it all the way, dude.
I will shave it down to the bone.
Today.
Okay. And let's grow it out. It'll be hilarious.
Okay, we'll see.
Does it get patchy?
I think so.
Oh, fuck yeah, it does.
How long do I have to go for?
Oh, man.
How long do we have to go for?
Couple weeks.
Okay.
And you could trim up like little things and stuff like that, but grow it out. I want to see what you look like with a beard.
It's like irritated and stuff like that, you know? Hat Launch, baby.
Hat Launch.
Put that brand on a hat. America's #1 source for customized hats. I was telling some of our boys today with other companies and stuff like that who we've done business with, I'm like, hey, for your hats, if you're looking for hats, this is like the place you should make your hats.
Or like you own your kid plays on a baseball team.
Yeah, dude.
All that, dude. These kids had the baddest ass jerseys, uniforms, and stuff like that. All their hats look pretty cool.
Yeah.
If you want to look good and sharp and let kids feel good, when they look good, they feel good. You know how the game goes. But go to Hat Launch. They'll make anything for you.
Yeah.
Make it nice. Lasts a long time. Looks great. Fits well. All that stuff. Mm-hmm. Hat Launch, baby. St. Louis people.
Hat
we
Launch,
love
baby.
you. We love you.
St. Louis people. But they make hats no matter where you're at in the world.
Yeah.
They just happen to be located here. But they are America's #1 source for customized hats.
Dang right.
All right, Illinois Recovery Center, Cam, you're heading out there this week?
Yeah, I got the boys coming on the radio show tomorrow.
Good.
Nikki and
Eric
coming on.
Both of them?
Yeah, both of them.
Why don't you come in with you tomorrow?
Come in then.
Yeah, what time?
Oh, Andy won't though. He won't though.
He won't.
8 o'clock tomorrow.
He won't though.
8 till 9, they're coming in,
All right.
shooting the shit. And
then they're
Thursday,
going to come in studio?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
No. And then I'm going over there to talk to the patients
I love it.
Thursday.
Okay.
I love doing that stuff.
Yeah.
Talk to them, hear them out.
Mm-hmm.
And I love when Eric and Chrissy talk to them too. They talk to them like they fucking know exactly what they're going through. Not like, hey, what's going on? Oh, you'll be okay. No, like so what else is going on?
Mm-hmm.
Well, how'd you feel yesterday?
Yeah.
Well, what about this? Okay, did you try da-da-da-da? Like they talk to you like a real, like we just.
Because they've been there.
They just shoot the shit, man.
Yeah.
Like if I was there and I had those two, and Eric's there all the time. Like Eric's running that goddamn
He's
thing.
there.
We don't give him enough credit.
No.
I love Chrissy. Like we
love Chris, but we love Eric too. Eric's
is dealing
boots
with
on the ground, man.
Every goddamn day, he's dealing with shit.
Yeah.
He's helping. He's running the show.
Okay.
He's talking to people. He's running around, making sure everything's okay.
Yeah.
There's so many little things he's got to take care of. God damn, he's a good dude.
Give him a shout out there.
Eric, you are an awesome guy, and you're doing God's work.
Eric,
and
we
you're
love
helping
you.
people out so much. You're helping families out.
Yes.
These families aren't crying anymore because their loved one is back to normal because of guys like you. You're the man, dude. And if anybody has a problem, I'm telling you, you fucking give them a call or you go online at IllinoisRecoveryCenter.com and you set up an appointment and you talk to these guys. They will talk to you. They will deal with the insurance. They have a bed waiting for you. Don't wait any longer.
Did you watch the Mama Ray videos?
Who?
Mama Ray.
What do you mean?
The videos I told you on TikTok.
Man,
and
I got
Instagram.
enough shit I'm watching.
No,
I don't need to watch
the
that bullshit.
painkiller addiction.
Yeah, all right.
And she got over that. And she does her content now on.
Yeah, all right. I did.
And you
see
said
a
you
little
kind of like her. Remember?
Yeah.
How she packs the lunch for her hubby.
Yeah,
And
I don't know
her
why she's getting
kids.
chirped.
People are chirping her left.
Why?
Because it's not very healthy lunch all the time.
Man, listen, that's your little bubble. All you fucking people that think everybody eats healthy and needs to eat healthy, you're in a fucking bubble. It's expensive to eat healthy. Go out yonder and see what they're eating, man. Like, it's sad sometimes, but that's fucking reality when you can't afford shit.
You should encourage people. You can,
of course, but sometimes
it doesn't
it's
have
expensive.
to be expensive, dude.
What's
Fruits and vegetables aren't expensive. Dude.
Is that what they're gonna eat the whole time? And yeah, they are. Everything's expensive now. Goddamn right.
Damn. Illinois Recovery Center.
See, we're privileged, dude.
800.
We don't notice it, but you go to the grocery store right now, shit is fucking
7430971.
It's expensive.
Oh, dude.
I know we're in a bubble. I know we're in a bubble.
Expensive.
We are.
Yeah.
At least we admit it.
Yeah, there's no question.
Although he doesn't.
At Bellman, you get no what?
Swinging
Cam?
dicks. No swinging dicks.
But you get a Buick GMC on one side of the street. Cam's looking at that Buick.
I'll take a
Enclave,
fucking Buick.
Frosted white.
I'll take a Buick.
Tan interior, captain seats.
I'll take a Buick.
Other side, you've got the Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Cam, looking at that pink Jeep, small tires, 2-door, soft top.
I want a fat ass diesel.
Oh, God.
Goddamn right.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
A Dodge?
Yeah, I'll take a fat ass Dodge.
Diesel?
Fucking.
You still like those
4-door.
dualies?
I don't need a dually, but a 25 hundo, fat ass, built
You
up a
couldn't
little bit.
handle that, dude.
I just drove one the other day for like 5 months. They gave me
That
for
was
free.
a Jeep.
That was a fucking Dodge Ram. What are you talking about? That blue one? Fucking badass diesel.
That was a Jeep.
This was 8 months ago. I've had multiple cars they gave
pickup?
me. I had a
I don't remember seeing that.
shit-kicking Dodge Ram 25 hundo diesel. It was
I remember
bad
that.
blue.
I remember that. Yeah.
Remember that monster?
Black tires, yeah.
Bad, yeah.
Or black wheels.
Awesome.
I remember that now.
Dude, you're like, you get up and go like, wow.
Yeah. Well, you can get
Like, fuck, it starts snowing. I'm like, I don't give a shit.
Dodge,
Let's go. If I had a boat, that
Ram,
thing's easy to
Chrysler,
deal with.
a Jeep.
You have an art, you want to take a haul an RV or whatever it is from Byerly or whatnot. You take that 25 hundo.
Hell yeah.
That thing will go anywhere.
Yeah.
You feel safe. You could sleep in that thing. Man.
Say hi to
that's what I
Danny
want.
boy.
Danny, what's up?
And Dale.
Dale, get back to fucking work. I told you.
And Kenny.
Kenny. What's up, guys? You guys do a damn good job up there, man.
The best.
The best of the
Todd
best.
McLellan.
Right
on
here.
this edition of the Cam and Strick Podcast, brought to you by First Form, baby. The Cam and Strick Podcast is brought to you by First Form, baby. Use our link and do it today. www.firstform.com/camandstrick.
Get jacked now. They are the real deal.
Get that protein, check out the apparel, eat those bars, and drink those energy drinks. Firstform.com/camandstrick.
Yeah.
Now on to the interview. Hey, listen, we just hit record and we just go. Todd.
Yeah, we just
Honestly,
go.
we just have conversation too.
Sure.
You're like a St. Louis
Look
guy.
at his hair, man.
I
You look
know.
good, dude.
You always had the best hair in the league.
You look good, man. You look young.
Yeah, young. I told her to cut the gray out the other day, and she tried.
That's what I said.
You can always fix the gray. It's when you have a bald spot like I do in the back of your crown. That's more difficult to deal with. So you're doing pretty good.
Good point. Good point.
No shit.
You
man.
chew gum a lot on the bench? Do you put ice in your? What do you? I always feel like you're chewing on something on the bench.
You know what? I've gone through everything. I've gone through water bottles. I've got water and water bottles. I've gone through gum, and now it's Halls. I throw Halls into my mouth. I must go through 25 of them. It can't be good for me. I'm sure the doctors listening are going to go, "What the hell are you doing when you're on there?" And I do hear it from my wife. She's a little concerned about the chemicals that are going into my body, but I haven't died yet, so
Well, you haven't had a cough in like 3 years either.
Well, if
no,
that's what
I've
you're,
had that, but it doesn't fix that. Trust me.
no offense, but if you're worried about halls, like you're doing pretty good for yourself. Right?
Yeah,
like, let's
there's
be
some
honest.
other
That's
things.
the worst thing you're
No
putting in your
shit,
body.
There's some other stuff out there that could. Well, maybe it's better or worse. Who knows?
Yeah, man, I get you on that.
How you doing, man? Everything good with you? Like, at what point, like after you get let go, do you come out of your shell and just start to like live life again and just focusing on the next step?
Yeah, you know what? This is, I don't know what this is now, fifth team in the National Hockey League, if you include my stop in Minnesota and taking care of their minor league system. But I left San Jose, kind of a mutual agreement, got fired in Edmonton, got fired in LA, and everyone is a little bit different. It's different circumstances. It's done differently by the people that are the executioner, I guess, if you want to call them that. Mm-hmm. And the way it's received and the emotional reaction to it is different each time. And this one was disappointing. I was really disappointed to begin with. I thought that we put a lot of time, work, energy into the identity and the direction of the hockey club. And we obviously struggled for a 3-week, almost to a month period, but a lot of teams go through that. But in Blakey's case, there wasn't a lot he could do to trigger the team or to make a change. You're up against the cap. Trades are hard to make anytime during the season. And he obviously thought he had to make a move there. But I was disappointed. Then I was mad. And then I got over it. And I got a great support crew here at home with my wife. And the first thing we did was book tickets to Germany to go watch my oldest play hockey over there. He's played for 4 years. And I feel real lucky to have done that with her and to spend time with him. And who knows if I'll get that chance again. And I guess when something shitty happens to you, you got to take advantage of it. And that's what we've done so far.
So like what happened with that, the kind of the downfall? Because you guys are rocking and rolling. You're winning a ton of games, getting a lot of attention. Like, was there something, I know it's usually a lot of different things combined, but like, can you pinpoint one major thing with the downfall of losing all those games?
Well, the losses came in different ways, and they were really close. We lost, I think, 6 games in overtime. So when you talk overtime shootout, when you talk about a record, they only won 3 games and 14 starts. It gets a little skewed with overtime losses. But there's a reason why teams and individuals play well throughout certain segments of the season, and then there's ups and downs. You guys both know that. Cam, you especially being a former player, you can't be at the top of your game all the time. And early in the year, we were all on cue. We were peaking. Everybody was playing real well, and the team or the players just ebbed the other way together, and we were losing close games. And expectations build up a little bit as you push the program forward. We are in year 5 of a rebuild. We had gone to Game 7 2 years ago, Game 6 last year, and some moves were made over the summer to try and put the team over the hump, and expectations at that time were high, and we weren't living up to them. So no excuses for me as a coach. It's my job to get the most out of them, and at that point I wasn't, and Blakey had to decide, and he did.
Okay, but when you're a head coach and you get off to a great start, listen, everyone wants to get off to a good start, and then you're winning a lot of games. But sometimes the coach can even see things, even when you're winning, where maybe, hey, listen, it's not perfect. We still have some areas we got to clean up. Otherwise, this is going to catch up with us. Were you feeling like maybe the guys were getting a little comfortable a little bit too early? Because you did get off to such a hot start. Everyone was just, they're all over the LA Kings in the early going of the season because you guys were so good. But were you internally wanting to pump the brakes a little bit, saying, hey, maybe we're not as good as our record suggests we are?
Well, I believe in being even keeled. You're never as good as you think you are, and you're never as bad as you think you are. You're somewhere in between all the time. And when you're the coach or part of the coaching staff, you've got to guide that ship. And if you're starting to take water on, you got to go plug that hole. You got to fix it quickly. And part of our journey throughout the year was to prepare us for moments like we had in January, but for Game 1 of the playoffs. We believed we'd be a playoff team here in LA. And there were things that we had to fix from the year prior. We addressed them throughout training camp. We applied them throughout the first 20, 25 games of the season. Things were going fairly well. And then you could see some habits or some repetition of things we were trying to fix that crept back into our game. So we aggressively went after situations, not necessarily players, but situations that we felt we would need if we played Edmonton, Vegas, Dallas, or whoever it was in the playoffs. And, at that point, it became tough. It was going to be hard. Nothing's easy. And we just weren't getting through it. So, yes, you could see it happening. You could see it coming. But part of our job as staff is accountability and preparing them for what lies ahead. And that's what we were doing at that time.
Like at the beginning, it's like you probably could scream a couple times, go in the locker room, make some noise, maybe bag the guys in practice. But after a while, you're like, you guys just need to go play, right? I mean, was there a point where you're just trying everything and it just kind of didn't work out?
Well, you know what? There's some truth to that, Cam. The days of just lining them up and skating, that's not going to work. You may as well just, walk out the front door yourself and jump in the car and give yourself the pink slip. That doesn't exist anymore. Practicing with purpose, practicing with direction, picking areas that you have to repair things and being real aggressive about it, blowing the whistle in practice, saying it's unacceptable. That's not going to work. This is what's getting us into trouble, whether it's individuals or groups of players collectively. Players want that. Sitting on the sidelines right now, I've been able to talk to some general managers and some people in organizations about potential job openings. And the one thing that keeps coming up is our team and the players are asking for it. We want some accountability. We want stiff direction. I think the game is changing a little bit. It used to be, you can't be a player's coach, and it went to that. And now it's starting to go back a little bit where the direction and the drive and the push seems to be coming from the coaches again, and the accountability has to come from there. And I'm a believer in that. And you look at Torts right now. Everybody's you either love him or you hate him. I'm a big Torts fan. I think he has principles. I think he sticks to them. I know him fairly well. He cares about anybody he's around. He greatly cares about people, and he wants to see them succeed. And you don't always have to agree with his tactics, but at least he's got a backbone and a spine, and he believes what he believes in, and he's going to push.
And there's a lot of coaches who don't. I mean, let's be honest, who don't have as much of a backbone or a spine. They feel the pressure. They're afraid to speak up. They're more concerned about that job security and just trying to hang on, but you got to stay true to who you are. I mean, I look at that roster for LA though, and I see some guys who have won, and you got a lot of veteran guys on that roster. It's got to be different compared to other teams, although you had a lot of veteran guys, obviously, in San Jose. Edmonton, maybe a little bit different situation, but do you coach the same no matter where you are, or with that particular group when you have the Kopitars and the Doughties kind of running the show, and then, a bunch of other guys who have been around? You just kind of give them the trust that they're going to be able to get the group to get going in the right direction?
Well, you have to give them direction and guidance. When I think about a hockey team, I think about it as being a family, and the manager and the coach are basically the husband and wife, if you want to call them that, or the hierarchy of the family, and the players are there, and each of call them children if you want. That's a terrible term because they're not infants; they're grown men. Yeah. But each of them has a say, and they get to guide the family a little bit. But when it's all said and done, the consequences, the direction are usually implemented by the father and the mother. And the father and mother have to stay on board. They have to see it the same way. They don't always have to agree on things, but they have to provide guidance. Kopi and Drew and Trevor Lewis were basically the three individuals that were left here in LA from their Stanley Cup years, and Trevor had to come back. Outstanding individuals, great people. You can see why they're winners. They all have different types of character elements and not necessarily focuses, but they believe that they need different ingredients to win. And they do share that in the locker room. But I've always wondered who's more important, the leaders or the followers. There's more followers than leaders. And if they can't jump on the bandwagon, they can't follow. It doesn't matter what the leader is doing. So you've got to have a good mix. I think LA does have that. I think they have a chance to win. I think they're a well-prepared, well-trained team. If they play real well and they play their type of game, understand who they are and what they need to do, they have a chance. And those three in particular play a big role in it because of their pedigree and their past championships.
All right, so let me ask you this, because listen, a lot was made out of Pierre Luc Dubois. Like, he comes on board, and listen, he's wanted out of 2 other organizations. He's an interesting case, man. To be honest with you, they gave him a shit ton of money. He comes over there, he's getting paid a lot of money. Did you know right off the bat, like, this is going to be a challenge for you to really get this guy going and kind of molding him into what you needed him to be for the team to be successful? Like, what was your relationship like with him?
Well, he's, he earned the right as a player to control his destiny. And that's what players have worked for many years. He was a year away from restricted or unrestricted free agency, and it put him in a position where he got to control where he wanted to go, and all the more power to him. And he's a great human being. He's misunderstood, I think, at times by the outside world, simply because he took advantage of what he earned, and that was the right to come to LA. It's never easy going to a new team, and it's never easy coming to a new team as a go-to player or a top 6 player. It takes a little bit of time. The LA Kings play the game a little bit different than a lot of teams do. Checking comes first, so you've got to adapt to that. And I think it took PL a little bit, but I think he has a chance to have a huge impact on what happens with the team moving forward now, and I believe he can do that.
How's Kopitar? I feel like as a coach, he's just one of those guys that's probably just, you don't need to say much to him. He basically does the right thing every damn night. Like, was he an easy guy to coach?
Very easy guy to coach. He is one of those that you kind of just put on the side. You don't have to worry about him, which sometimes can be dangerous because maybe you don't communicate enough with him. There's never a big issue or anything like that, but very passionate about the game. He loves it. He understands the whole game. There's offensive players, there's defensive players. Kopi gets it from one end to the other, from corner to corner, from the middle of the rink to the boards. Very astute when it comes to game management skills. He understands shift length. He understands momentum in a shift. He's the complete player. You don't win like he has, both individually as far as the accolades he's received, but also as a team player, and very likely a Hall of Famer, in my opinion, without having those attributes and those character points, I guess, for lack of a better term, but an outstanding human being, somebody you want to be around.
Listen, we'll move on from LA eventually here, but I'm curious how those guys handle losing. Along with yourself, you're losing games. And then when Rob Blake comes in and tells you, hey, you're no longer going to be the coach, are you completely blindsided? Are you expecting it? Is it ever coming into your mind that, hey, listen, they may end up making a coaching change if we don't get this thing figured out? Were you completely blindsided when he told you he was letting you go?
No, not completely blindsided. I would be lying if I said that was the case. I think what you need to look for when it comes to coaches that are, feeling it a little bit is they're going to start to have to answer the question. And the media is going to say, hey, you know what? Are you concerned about your job? And we can all play dumb, and I will give you the regular line of, yeah, you know what? I got a job to do and I can't control it and I'll come in tomorrow. All of that's true. But in the back of your mind, it exists, and you're doing everything you can. And if I know it exists, that means the players know it exists. That means everybody else in the world knows it exists, and it becomes an intense situation. And sometimes I've been through that many times in my career, and we've been able to pull out of it, and away we go. There's obviously been times where I haven't been able to pull out of it, and but it happens in our game. I don't know why it's happening so much in hockey. I went to a Dodger game yesterday. I watched them play and they won 10-0. They beat the Mets, and And I didn't think there was a lot of pressure on the Mets team at all. They got completely demolished. And they walked off the field, and away they went, and they got on the plane, they moved on to the next city. It didn't feel like the same intensity as if the LA Kings rolled into St. Louis and lost 6-0 after being on a 3-game losing streak. There's something about hockey. There's something about the stress and the intensity between upper management, coaching, and players. And the middle floor always seems to get dinged a lot more than the upper or the lower floors. And that's just the way it is right now.
Man, that's really interesting that you say that, because I was going to ask you, like, the shelf life for coaches.
Yeah.
Man, it's so short in the National Hockey League. Like, do we have an issue with that? Like, do we have to give these coaches a little longer rope, you know? And listen, because I think Rob Blake came out and said something about, like, he kind of gave you that vote of confidence publicly. And as a head coach, do you hate that? Is that like the dreaded vote of confidence? Do you feel like, hey, once a GM has to come out and say that you're safe publicly, that you know that in reality maybe you're not safe?
No, I can't speak for all 32 coaches. I can only speak for myself. But I don't need, personally, the manager to come out and say, hey, everything's safe. What ends up in that situation is that the manager is speaking to somebody and he gets asked the question. So he's got to give an answer.
Yeah.
He's not going to say, yes, I'm going to fire this guy in a week, or no, I'm not going to fire this guy. He gives the coach a vote of confidence. He's got to get on the bench with the players in 6 hours or the next day. That's what he's going to say. So in my mind, the dreaded vote of confidence doesn't even exist. I think each and every coach is at a certain place in his career. I remember being a young coach. It was pure survival mode for me. I had to get to the next day and then the next contract and stay alive. Now, and we talked about Torts and some of the other more senior coaches, they have more of a comfort zone to really do the things that they truly believe in, because job security has come over the 15 or 16 years that these individuals have been head coaches. So each and every coach will respond differently to pressure. And I think the proper response to it is remain who you are, stay true to your beliefs and your backbone. And if you're starting to break or you're starting to give in, you're probably in trouble anyhow. So that doesn't mean you don't collaborate. It doesn't mean you don't look at seeing things a little different. It doesn't mean you don't take in information from valuable people around you, whether it's management or lower level management, players themselves. Sometimes media people have great ideas. You've got to be able to listen, to take things in, and then make real, clear, accurate decisions. Sometimes they're wrong. Nobody's perfect. But that's how I think later on in life you end up dealing with the stress of losing streaks and people talking about job loss. But it does exist in the game. I can't answer the question. You'd have to ask people above me probably why it's happening so frequently, but it does.
So how long did it take when you did get fired to like really get back into watching hockey, where you're like, okay, I got to get away from this shit for a little bit, relax, refocus? And are you watching the game now? And what do you think of the game now? Like, it seems like even this year has been great. You got goal scoring, you got guys breaking records, you're doing this, you got fights, you got a little bit of everything. Seems like a fun year.
Yeah, well, to the first part, you don't turn the TV on. You don't want to hear anything for a few days. You're trying to figure out your emotional state. And then for me, when my wife and I decided to go to Germany, there wasn't a morning I didn't wake up and go watch my son practice. I went to the games, talked to the coaches, and that was the trigger to, okay, this was... I'm still a hockey guy. That's what I do, and I'm craving it a little bit. And then when you come home, I find that I channel surf a lot more now. I'm jumping from game to game to find out what's going on. The game, in my opinion, there is in a really good place. As you mentioned, all those scoring records and the stories behind it, the individuals that are in it, the superstars, the unknown heroes that are coming out. I think the game is in a great spot, but if you truly break a game down, there's about 15 minutes of it that really, really make a difference to the outcome. And the rest is, you know, chess back and forth. You take a piece, I take a piece. Some shifts there's just nothing going on. But that pure 15 minutes can really make a difference in a game. And there's a lot of action. There's a lot of mistakes. There's a lot of well-played moments. Those are the moments that I'm looking for right now. I learn a lot by watching them. I'm able to take my computer and break some chances down. And there are, you know, when I'm looking at teams that have called me about coaching again, and I look at their structure, and there are patterns to mistakes. There's patterns, at least in my opinion, patterns to goals for, goals against, special teams, and I enjoy that part of the game. I don't have to watch the whole game to break it all down. So to answer your question, I do a lot of channel surfing. I don't necessarily watch all 60 minutes of one game. Really looking forward to this first round of playoffs. It's always exciting, as you know, and the fans would know. But there's some real good matchups.
Do you talk to guys like Chief? I mean, Jay Woodcroft, obviously, you've got a relationship with. I mean, other coaches that have got fired. Do you guys reach out to one another and chat, especially like right after you get fired? Do you hear from those guys, or do you reach out to them when they get let go?
Yeah, we, you know, I think since the NHL Coaches Association has been created, which happened when I was still in Detroit as an assistant coach, so it's been around for a lot of years. We've been able to grow our group and be very supportive of each other. Very competitive industry. Everybody wants each other's jobs, but we do care about each other. And I think there's groups of coaches in the league that rely on support for each other. I'm close to Peter DeBoer, Torts, those type of people that I'm willing to reach out to and discuss certain situations with. And then there's other people that are in small groups. But when somebody does go down, as I did, it's amazing how quick your phone fills up with very supportive text messages. And it's not just from coaches. I get texts from players that I coached in junior, players that I coached in Houston, number of the San Jose Sharks former players, Edmonton guys. And I even get those throughout the year sometimes by guys that are still playing and they're having a little trouble. Hey, Todd, do you have time? Can you talk to me about this? And they're not even part of our organization. But I think when you have coached and you create strong relationships, some of these individuals trust you and they need a different voice. And there's nothing wrong with reaching out and helping those people. They're throwing out an olive branch to you, and it's not always about hockey. It could be about something else that's going on in their life that does affect hockey. And those are the calls, those are the texts that mean the most to me. You know, there's always the ones, you know, hey, too bad, I thought you were doing a good job, and I appreciate those. But the heartfelt ones or the help ones are really meaningful.
You've been coaching a long time, and you've seen the evaluation of how certain players kind of change throughout the years. Like, what's the biggest thing since you started till now on how these players react to coaches?
Well, Cam, you'll remember, both of you will know the saying, there's no I in team. And that's really a bunch of crap, in my opinion. There's 23 I's in every team. Each player is their own industry, their own little company, and there's nothing wrong with that. I believe you have to admit that. You can go put all these stupid slogans up in the locker room, you know, team first and all that. It doesn't happen that way. And I'll take you as an example, Cam. I know how you played. You did it very well. You were hard. You played with your heart. But when you got in the car and you were driving down to the arena in St. Louis, San Jose's coming to town, and you kind of knew who was on San Jose's team. Jody Shelley's playing there. Holy shit, I may get active tonight. It's not an easy job. But when you got into your car and you were driving to the game, you were often thinking about yourself. Okay, what's in it for me? How am I going to handle myself tonight? What am I going to do? When's this going to happen? What is Hitch thinking tonight? Am I going to be in the lineup? That was your world. And you drove all the way down to the rink. You put your equipment on, and then you entered a team environment. You played your game. You did what you had to do, and you left. On your ride home, the first thing you do is you begin to self-evaluate. You start with Cam. Okay, how did it go? Well, frickin' Hitch, you only played me 3 shifts and I fought Jody Shelley. That could be how you approached it. Or, you know what? He gave me 15 shifts. I thought I had a real good night, but I probably should have engaged with Doughty Shelley when he went after Scotty Nickel. So those types of events occur with players, and that's why I think it's always the I first and then the team. For me as a coach, I figured out a long time ago that when I drive to the rink, I'm thinking about 5 guys on the forecheck. I'm thinking about the penalty kill. Can 4 guys get it done? I'm thinking about the team. Can we get a good start tonight? Are we going to have energy? Then when I drive home, maybe the assistant coaches are sitting with me. I'm thinking about, oh shit, our neutral zone was terrible. So players approach the game as I people. Coaches approach the group as us people. And then we got to put it all together. And what's happened over the years is I think that players get a lot of support from outside entities, being agent, parents, skill development people, nutritionists, weight people, alumni. It just grows and grows. And most of it is because of social media. And they're able to get feedback before the coaches even get a hold of them. So Cam, you used to play, you'd get off the ice, you'd change, you'd get in, you'd shower, you'd go to the back room, you'd pull out your phone. And when you pulled out your phone, the first thing that you would look for is some type of feedback. Okay, somebody, your mom and dad or your dad or somebody's saying, hey, great game tonight. You like that one. Okay, I'm going to keep on reading. Some fan that is following you on Twitter or whatever it might be says, hey, get your shit together. You were terrible. You just scroll to the next one. You don't want to hear that. So you crave positive feedback from people that really don't have any skin in the game. And then by the time I get a hold of you the next day as a coach, you're full of sometimes misled information. And that's what's happened to the game over the last 10 or 15 years since social media has grown. Players look for feedback from all over the place. Agents, there's no way an agent can watch every minute of your game. They represent hundreds of players. So when an agent phones and says, hey, you know what, Cam Jansen needs more ice time. He played really well last night. Sometimes I'm wondering, did you even watch the game?
I turned the puck over 4 times.
Well, yeah, you shot it in the bench and hit the coach.
No
so
shit.
That's too many. If he had 3 shifts, that's too many right there.
yeah,
Exactly.
but that's how the world has changed in my mind a little bit.
Yeah.
Technology, systems, players are incredibly skilled now. The young guys have courage. They have the what's to make plays or attempt plays. Mm-hmm. Early in my career, or even when I played, and that's a terrible thing for a coach to say, but that was a long time ago. You just didn't try things because you weren't up on the pecking order. You weren't high enough in the lineup. Mm. So you chipped it in and you chased it, and the coach would tell you to do certain things. That's all you did. Now the young players come in and they're willing to try it. And I think that's why our great game is great. They're willing to try things. They put their gonads on the line day in and day out, and the game is way better because of it. So that's the evolution of I think I've coached for 32 years now, so that's how much it's evolved throughout my tenure.
Listen, your courage back then was blocking a shot. It was getting in a fight. It was finishing a check. It was like that's where like maybe the courage, the definitions changed a little bit. But like, why do you think coaches or teams, I should say, when you see coaches get fired? We saw it in Edmonton this year. I mean, the team just takes off. I think LA got pounded like their first game or two after you got let go. And then obviously they ended up making the playoffs and doing their thing. But, even in St. Louis, Drew Bannister takes over. I think they went 30, 19-5, something like that, after he took over for a guy who had won the Stanley Cup. Like, why do we see teams take off after coaching changes and general managers like, well, that's my last lifeline to try to get this team moving in the right direction to make the Stanley Cup playoffs,
Yeah, that's a really interesting question. It kind of goes back to why are so many coaches getting fired? Well, if teams do take off after an individual, Chief is one of the best coaches in the National Hockey League. I think he's done everything to prove that. I know the players respect him. I know that the fans and Doug Armstrong has the utmost respect for him, but something had to happen at that moment, just like Los Angeles. And, it happened. And the players, I believe, feel they're good human beings. Hockey players are great people. They are. You don't have a lot of dirt bags that put that hockey equipment on. They are caring people. They may not always like the coach or the coaching staff or the manager, but they actually do care about them, and it's vice versa. That's why relationship building is really important in hockey. And I think when somebody walks out the door with a boot in their butt and you cared about them a little bit, you feel a little bit guilty, and you tend to play a little bit harder for the first little bit, and you come out of the funk, and then it becomes fun again. Some players get a second chance. They get I don't know if Cam, you'll probably understand this. When a year ended, you had a shitty year, you're so looking forward to game one next year because it was your stats showed 0 and you had a new training camp and you worked harder in the summer.
0. They did.
Well, no, just wait. You got to take that the right way. I'm including penalty minutes.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Okay, plus minus and penalty minutes.
Yeah.
So,
That's so funny.
but the 0 part is a fresh start. And you, for your years you played, you know that 1 year when you got your fresh start and you took advantage of it. Well, some players get that at 2 stages during the year, in my mind, is one is if a coach gets fired and you get a new person in, or right now the playoffs are about to start. And there are individuals that maybe didn't have real good years, but it doesn't matter. Once the playoffs start, you can take off, you can rewrite your story, and you can have an impact on a team or a run, and that'll make you feel pretty good. So there's 2 points during a season where I think the momentum or trajectory of a team can be changed. One is the coaching switch, and the other is the playoffs. Now, not all teams make a coaching change and it becomes all rosy. It can get worse. And we don't often talk about that because the good story is, hey, you know what? The guy won 30 of 35 games and we're keeping him. But it can go the other way too.
All right, listen, you've coached like some amazing players, man. I mean, even going back to Detroit, obviously, Yzerman was still there, Shanahan was still there, Zetterberg, Datsuk, obviously, Nicholas Lidstrom. How did that set the tone and help you the rest of your career when you're coaching? And listen, Jumbo, Hall of Fame player, probably not. I mean, listen, he played 1,700 games. He had an unbelievable career. But like McDavid, like next level superstar. When you talk about Connor McDavid, like how did that experience in Detroit kind of establish your ability to communicate with the best of the best?
Well, the Detroit experience was necessary for me. I don't think I would be on your show right now if I didn't spend 3 years in Detroit. Mm-hmm. And I often say that was the Harvard of hockey for me. I was leaving the American Hockey League. I was going to a team that legitimately could have won the cup 5-6 years in a row. We were that good. Sometimes it just doesn't work out though. But the type of individuals that were around that organization, and yeah, there's Lidstrom, Yzerman, Shannon, and all the players that you talked about that were putting the equipment on that were really important. But there were the alumni individuals. Mr. Howe was walking around. Mr. Delvecchio was walking around. The McCrimmons, the Verbeeks, these types of individuals that were around Kenny Holland, and they would walk into the locker room. You could just sit back and absorb knowledge about certain situations, listen to stories. Scotty Bowman tells stories, and I think back now, there are moments where I tap into some of those stories. I'm willing to share them with other individuals or with players, and it does help you. But watching the interaction between the Hall of Fame players, and there were a lot of them on that team, and then going to San Jose as a head coach was completely different. When you're the assistant, it's a little different. It's a whole lot easier. Yeah. You got to work hard. You probably work harder or do more work than what the head coach does, but the headaches are minimalized. You're often the fun guy. You're often the repairman. And I felt like that in Detroit. But when I went to San Jose, now I had to deal with Jumbo and Patty Marleau and Joe Pavelski and Mike Greer was on the team. Those type of individual players that have played for a long time, and they were stars in their own way. And the one thing that I learned was that star players are very willing to be held accountable. They just don't want to be embarrassed. They have a really high pride level. So if it came down to you take Braden Shen now, whether Braden Shen's a star in St. Louis or not, he's the captain. He's the heartbeat of the team. He cares about everything that he sees and does there. If Drew or Chief went in and just completely embarrassed him, you're losing him for a little while.
Oh, yeah.
But if you sat down with him before and you asked him, does this live up to your standard or our standard? He'll be pretty honest. He'll say, no, it doesn't. Then, hey, I'm using this today because it's going to have an impact on everybody. You okay with that? Yep. And in you go. And now you can be hard on Braden Shen because he's given you permission. You've talked about it one-on-one away from the group. And it comes out a lot better. And if I'm using Braden Shen as an example, that means Jordan Kyrou has to respond to it as well. He just has to. He may not believe in it. He may not want to do it. But hey, you know what? Shenner just got it. He got called out. And he's not living up to his standards or ours. I got to pull up my socks. And that's the one thing I learned. And Jumbo was very graceful with that. Patty Marleau, all of those individuals were. And I continue to do that now when I coach. I don't want to embarrass Drew Doughty on Kopitar, but some days you need to use your best players and clearly set the tone and example for the group to get a response from all 20 individuals.
So you're right. You don't want to embarrass the players at all. But has any player embarrassed you in a setting?
Probably along the way, but I'm sure I've made that mistake too. It's hockey. We're human beings.
Yeah.
And I know, again, I go back to family. I'm sure there's a million times I've embarrassed my wife somehow, but not really intentionally. It probably has happened. My kids have probably been embarrassed by, if I'm singing in the car and I'm not very good at it, they're probably embarrassed if their friends are in there. But it's never with any intent or ill intent, if you will, and I've never found that from any players or anything like that. Hockey players are pretty damn good people. Put me in a group of them, and I could go anywhere and be happy, top to bottom.
But they get emotional on the bench too, though. Especially the stars. So we're like, do you like when you tell them something, maybe they clap back a little bit, and you're kind of like, okay, now I got you a little.
Yeah, there's sometimes you poke people to get a response out of them. I found that today's player is a little quieter. So you all hear the Holly stories. I've heard those a million times from Chaser and Sutter's on the bench and he's chirping back at Sutter and it's going. And sometimes that's really good banter, but you got to know your place a little bit. You got to know who you are as a coach and a player. And sometimes you can maybe I can go down to the bench, down to the end and give Chaser a shot. Mm-hmm. And Chaser's going to give it back to me, but both of us know the purpose of it. And all of a sudden, Tony Twist looks over and Brownie looks over and hey, we got something going here. We got a little bit of crap going on the bench. Okay, let's get going. It wakes everybody up. If it's too often or too much and it's overkill, it's just players see right through it. But I do think that the players now are very respectful of coaching staffs. You don't have guys turning around and chirping. You do have guys turning around and looking at you, though. So if there's an individual player on the ice, he's taking bad penalties all the time or turning the puck over, he's on the ice, he may realize he did it or didn't do it. The other 15 players on the bench, they just turn and look at you. And they're kind of going, okay, Dad, what are you going to do about this now? And they watch. And sometimes your reaction to a player for a mistake or a lazy moment is not just for the player that created it, it's for the other 15. They want to see what's going on. They want to see how the coach is going to behave, how aggressive he's going to be. Is he going to, is it a boot or is it a hug? And everybody's watching all the time.
Listen, I've covered coaches. We have these individual meetings with coaches before games and stuff. You can tell sometimes every coach is different. I see the coaches that only privately, chirp the younger players. It's like it's all about this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. You know what I'm saying? But they never say anything about Tarasenko, for example. You know what I'm saying? Who's a veteran guy. Where I think from a player standpoint, because they'll tell me, hey, listen, when a coach holds Tarasenko, as accountable as he does to a guy who's played, 30 games in the league, like. The rest of the team can appreciate that because they see that when a star player is making mistakes, They want the coach to kind of jump him too. Sometimes you're just jumping the young guys. You know, the players may look at a coach and be like, okay, he's a little bit of a phony, not willing to challenge the veteran guys too. So are you cognizant of that as a coach? Do you feel like you have to treat everybody the same? Or is it just human nature? Hey, you're not going to treat a fourth line guy the same that you're going to treat, McDavid and Draisaitl,
Yeah, I clearly see your point, and I think that everybody's treated fairly but not equal.
Yeah.
That's just the way it goes. And some guys have a longer leash. Often those guys with a longer leash, you can have a bigger impact on the group by addressing their pros and cons in the moment. And if I catch Kopitar doing something right, and that's important as a coach, catch them doing it right, quit catch them doing it wrong all the time. If I catch him doing something right and I make a vocal statement loud enough on the bench that everybody could hear it, the rest of them are going, okay, if that's all I got to do tonight and the coach is going to be happy, then it grows, it's contagious. And the same thing can go the other way. The higher status people have a bigger impact by only doing it once with them. The lower status players on your team, you can continually do it with them. It won't have as great an impact, and sometimes it wears off. What often happens is that as the game changes, the younger players come in and, as I said, they have courage. They're not completely sure of how to they're not completely prepared to fit into a professional environment yet. They don't completely know how to behave, how to train, how to treat the trainers, everybody says, well, you got to be on time for practice. Well, just wearing your equipment and standing in line isn't flipping ready for practice. You can't waste time. So the first 10 minutes of practice isn't just to warm up anymore and flip pucks in the stands. You got to be on, because we practice less. So that's part of being a professional. And the younger players aren't quite ready for that yet. So they get barked at a little bit more for professionalism stuff, I believe. And the older guys get barked at more for game management and sometimes effort stuff.
Yeah.
And the whole thing can work together if it's dealt with the right way. They're both sharing with each other, but that's the dynamic of a team. And the quicker everybody figures it out, the more chance at success you have.
Were you coaching McDavid his rookie season, right when he first came in? Right.
I was. Yes, it was. It was a real good opportunity when I went to Edmonton that Connor was coming in, and Leon had played a little bit, but he hadn't even established himself in the league. I think he started in the American League that year.
Did, yeah.
But those players were coming in, and what's really made it hard for young players is Eichel, McDavid, and Matthews. They all came in bang, 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 and they are superstars. They had it. Bedard now maybe will make it harder on Fantilli this year, or whoever the first round pick is. But there are some first overall picks that are absolutely superstars, and away they go. And they're professional and they get it all. The next crop they're going to be very good players. I look at Quinton Byfield. He's going to be an outstanding player.
Yeah.
It just takes him a little bit of time, and he went second overall. But he has the pressure of living up to McDavid and Eichel and Matthews and some of these. They're one pick apart.
I know.
But players are at a different stage, and every year is different.
Even like Lafreniere, they were writing him off.
Yeah.
Now he's crushing guys, making plays, doing his things.
And the kid in Montreal, man.
Yeah.
So
the big kid.
Yeah, everybody evolves at a different pace, a different stage, except the superstars arrive and they're ready. And if you get one of those, great. But you're an awfully bad team probably, or you got a lot of luck in the lottery.
So was it hard we've had Kenny Holland on the show, to go back and work with him? That's a completely different animal. Detroit Original Six, obviously a lot of attention on that team when you were there with all the Hall of Famers and whatnot. And obviously they had won some Stanley Cups. They had another one that they were about to win. You obviously were on the staff when you guys won. But then you go to a team with McDavid, Canadian City. They want that instant gratification, even though you probably know the team isn't capable of accomplishing what everybody is after just yet. Was it difficult to be in that environment, knowing that they want something so quickly that maybe is not attainable?
Well, first of all, Kenny and I were in Detroit. When I went to Edmonton, Peter Chiarelli was just hired as the general manager. So Bob Nicholson went in as the president. Peter Chiarelli took over as the general manager, and I was hired as the coach, and away we went. The team was leaving old Rexall Arena, and they were going to the new arena. My first year there, we spent in the old arena. Opened up the new arena the next year. And our transformation of the team, putting our stamp on it, it happened fast. All of a sudden, we're in the playoffs. We beat San Jose. It went to the final the year before. We took Anaheim to Game 7 in the second round and lost. And it was time to win. And I'm not sure that we thought it would happen that fast, but you can't slow down the train. When the train's moving and you're winning, you want to take as much of that as you possibly can. You can't plan to just win and get out.
Right.
And when that happens in Canada, everybody's on board real fast, and the American markets, but certainly in Edmonton and some of those others. So that next summer, after going to Game 7 in round 2, was pivotal for the organization. And the next year we came back with a lot of pressure on ourselves, and we made some moves. Whether they were right or wrong, I don't know, but we had a tough year. We didn't make the playoffs. And the first time you get in is great, but can you sustain it? Can you keep it going over and over and over again? It's one of the things that I'm proud about here in LA. We probably got to the playoffs a little bit quicker than we thought we would. The first year we go to Game 7 against Edmonton. The next year we're back in. This year we did a good enough job that the Kings are back in again. That's sustainable. That's a well-built team that can sustain it year after year after year. Now you got to add to it. You got to change things. You got to do a few things different, because now getting in just isn't good enough. But I think the good teams know where they are on their journey. They don't pretend to be better than they are, and they don't pretend to be worse than they are. If you can clearly plot out where you are on your evolutionary line as a team, you have a way better chance of success. You can't live in a dream world, and you can't put yourself down either. You are what you are, and if you're honest about it, you have a chance.
How was your relationship with Mike Babcock?
Very good. I'm very grateful to Babs for giving me the opportunity to come to Detroit. Our relationship goes back a long way. We're both from Saskatoon. He's a little bit older than I am, so as he played minor hockey or midget AAA or junior, I was behind him far enough that I never got to play against him. But once we both got into the coaching world, he was in Moose Jaw, I was in Swift Current. We both turned pro around the same time. He got to go to Anaheim. I was still in Houston. But the relationship and the hockey part of it, it was really good to be around him. I think he's got an outstanding hockey mind. My relationship with him was very strong.
You still talk to him? And how do you think he handled, I don't want to say the situation in Columbus, but handled getting fired, and now probably, who knows what his future is now as a head coach in the NHL? I mean, where's he at now, mindset wise? He's doing all right, I would imagine, right?
I still talk to him. It's not it's not something, we're not talking once a week. Our wives communicate, and they were very close, and that type of stuff. And I can't answer that question. That's a Mike question. I know what he is capable of bringing to the game. But Mike would have to answer that question about where he is on his path. He's been on one long journey, that's for sure. And he would have to answer the what's in it for me later on, or what's upcoming question.
Are you different than him? I mean, because you're under that Babcock tree. Are you guys different in terms of how you coach, or are there some similarities?
Well, you have to be different. The biggest mistake that any individual can make, I think, in any industry, is try and be somebody else, something you're not. Are there ideas that we shared that maybe I think that I was able to give Mike as much as Mike gave me. And I think that's a really good environment as far as tactics and situational play and all that type of stuff. But once we part and we go our own ways, if I went to San Jose as Mike Babcock, I would have been gone. They would have been knocking on my door, Jumbo and Patty, and they would have been pushing me out the door. Not because of Mike Babcock, but because Todd McLellan wasn't going to be Todd McLellan. I am who I am. You got to take me for what I am. I won't cheat you one way or the other. I'm not going to be one guy one day and another guy the next day. I think I have emotional control. I think I can present things well. And every now and then it'll go a little higher or go a little lower, but I work in a range, and that's who I am. And I think if you get some of these, some young coaches that come in and they try and be somebody they're not, it just, Cam's shaking his head. You see through it in 2 seconds. You just do.
Yeah, you got
players are so wise and so astute to the bullshit that it doesn't last very long. Yet you come in and you admit you make mistakes. I make mistakes all the time. And you go, okay, well, this guy's human. He's like us. You know what? They want to see you work hard. They want to know you're as prepared as they are. And if you do that, you have a chance. But you come in and you try and trick them or get all fancy with a bunch of crap, and you're somebody you're not, you may as well, again, drive your car right out the front door with the pink slip, because it's not going to work.
But I would imagine being an assistant under Mike, that's where that relationship with the players and being the nice guy, the good guy, bad guy, whatever, where you got to kind of massage some players every once in a while, right? Because they're dealing with the hard-nosed coach. You got to be different, right? As an assistant working under a coach like that.
Well, that's the dynamic of a coaching staff.
Yeah.
Once you are in your coach's room or your office, there is a leader there. That's your head coach. At least in my office, I don't know how other coaches do it, but I look around and I ask questions, and I expect each of those coaches to throw their ideas out on a daily basis. Whether I agree with them or not, I want to hear them. And we can debate them, we can argue them, we can implement them, we can get rid of them. Whatever it comes down to, we leave the room and we're unified. Now, the unified part of it exists in all the structure and the systems and everything, but a good assistant coach will hear things in that room, and he'll realize that Cam Johnson, you know what, you're in the head coach's doghouse. He's not happy with you right now. You know what, he doesn't trust you on the ice. You're taking stupid penalties. You're losing us momentum. And when the puck's around you, it's not real friendly. So a good assistant coach will listen to that. He'll get out on the ice. I'll come out as the head coach. Usually come out a little bit later, and I'll look over and he's talking to Cam, and he's saying, hey, you know what? Your name came up in the room today. He's not very happy. He's going to leave you alone because he knows you can fix this, but I'm here to tell you these are the things that we've been talking about. After practice, let's get over and do a little board work. He'll recognize it, or he'll see it. He'll believe that you're working on your game, and then tomorrow be ready to go. And that's a perfect scenario or situation, because it doesn't escalate. The head coach doesn't have to yell and scream. The assistant coach took a cue and did his job. He addressed the player. And then maybe in the morning skate, I'll skate over to Cam and say, hey, are we good? And he'll look at me and he'll tell me, yeah, we're good and I'm ready. And you know what? That's how it moves on. If you end up in the coach's office, I've tried to change that a little bit so that sometimes you come in and I'm going to use Cam as an example again. Hey, Cam, get in my office. Right away, you're going, holy shit, what did I do now? It's like getting called to the principal's office. Okay, I'm in trouble. Well, that doesn't always have to happen. You can come and sit in my office and I can say, hey, Cam, great job. The last 10 games, unreal. I don't talk to you enough, but we asked you to do these things. I got a whole bunch of clips right here. Sit down, take a look at these. That was exceptional. The amount of change in 10 games that you've done as a player is exceptional. And you're going, what the hell just happened? I came in here to get whacked. But it's actually, I don't mind coming into this place now.
Cloud nine, baby, if I had that meeting.
Well, do you think that's normal? You think a lot of coaches are like that, especially the old school guys? From talking to players, I don't feel like too many would get that type of positive reinforcement from a lot of coaches.
Well, but I said earlier, you have to catch players doing things right.
Yeah.
You know, the car's not always broken. You open up the hood and sometimes you just want to show your engine off a little bit. But if your car is running good, and this is what coaching is, you're always trying to fix things. If your car is running good and you put your fingers in there and you start filling around with crap, pretty soon your car's not running good.
Yeah.
But you could bring a player in and reward them for the things that you've asked them to do. Odds are 2 weeks earlier, I brought Cam in though, and I said, hey, get your shit together. You're doing these things. But I got to catch him doing it right, and I got to make sure he knows that I know. Mm-hmm. And if he does, he'll keep doing it for the group. If he thinks it's just deaf ears and he never hears from me again, he'll likely go back to his old habits. And that's called communication. When people want to ask you about what communication is with players, that's what it is. Give me direction, catch me doing it right, reward me, or take it away from me. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. A few more things for you, man.
Yeah, man.
You've been great.
Awesome.
We appreciate it.
You've been awesome.
Did you like coaching McDavid? What kind of challenge comes with coaching the best player in the league? How important is it? Like, does he understand? Like, you think he thinks about his legacy? Like, he's got to win a cup to enter that. He's there. I mean, this guy gets 130 points a year. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, championships are championships, you know?
I thought it was an absolute honor to coach that young man for a lot of different reasons. One, he's as good as he is, and he truly works at his game. There's a handful of players, maybe in all my years, that, you know, they came to practice and they truly worked at their game. A lot of guys practiced and wanted to get better and did things, but Joe Pavelski, Pavel Datsyuk, Connor McDavid, these guys take it a step further. They think about situations that they're going to need in a game. And after all the system stuff is done, they may come over and say, hey, can you do this with me? And I'm going, what the hell are we doing here? This is me being an assistant coach. Pavel Datsyuk, well, why are we doing this, Pavel? I go, and he just looked at me and he's rushing. He goes, I need it. Okay, well, I'll do it. But 2 games later, you saw him pull it off in the game, and everybody's going, wow. And I'm going, no, not wow. He practiced that moment. He did that.
Yeah, there's a reason
he
for it.
He knew that. And he took extra time to do it. And Connor was one of those guys. The most impressive thing for me about Connor is not the on-ice stuff. His ability to control and give when so much is asked of him. And he did this as a young man. We'd wheel into Chicago. We'd pull up to the hotel, one of the toughest places for autograph seekers at 4 o'clock in the morning. And again, Cam, you'll know that. There are adults out there with bagfuls of stuff, and they're probably not putting it on their home shelf. They're probably selling it all. There are little kids out there that have to go to school the next morning, and it's like it's snowing in Chicago. Connor gets off the bus, and he addressed all of those guys. I was thinking, we're playing back-to-back. Get to bed. Nope. He was there signing autographs. He goes out of his way to be an ambassador for the game. And I don't think it matters where he'd play. If there's a team in Mexico somewhere, he would be an ambassador for the game. And that's what's so impressive about him. He has so much going on in his world that he still has time for everybody else. And I tip my hat to him for that.
I love hearing that.
Yeah, so do I.
Do you want to coach like next year? Like, how quickly do you want to get back in the game if you want to be an NHL head coach again?
Well, unfortunately, I can't coach in the first round, but that's where I'd like to be right now. So I'd like to get back in without a doubt. But I have, you know, over the years, I think experience tends to guide you a little bit. And I talked about that marriage. You just don't go find a wife and marry her. You find somebody that you can spend some time with and you appreciate it. And you have to have the same beliefs. You have to have the same interests. You've got to have a lot of similarities that bring you together, yet opposites sometimes do attract. I would be privileged to get back into the game, but it would have to be right for me and for the team. And that's the only way it works. When I first entered the league, I was looking for a job. And sometimes you end up in situations that were really good. And I'll share this story with you. When we won the Cup in 2008, I had Donnie Waddell call me. He was in Atlanta at the time, or he called Kenny Holland for permission to talk to me. I think Columbus was looking for somebody, and San Jose was looking for a head coach. And lo and behold, I ended up flying out to San Jose first, met with Doug Wilson, ended up getting the job. So I had to phone Donnie Waddell and say, I'm taking the job in San Jose. I never ended up going to Atlanta. It was probably fortunate for me because I ended up in a situation with a better team. And that's not a knock on Doughty or Atlanta or anything like that.
No, it helps. Though.
But I was also told that, hey, you know what? If you're going and you can get that job in San Jose by some real good hockey people, take it. And that allowed me some longevity. It allowed me to make mistakes, a lot of mistakes, and get through because the team was good enough. Had I gone to Atlanta, there was good players and good coaches there, but the team ended up moving too. Had I gone there and didn't get through all those mistakes and errors, maybe my career would have been over. Or I'd be going back to an assistant or whatever it is. But I do want to coach again, and it has to be right for me and the team, the personalities and the direction that everybody is going. It has to match, or it just won't work. And I don't want to waste a team's time or resources, and I don't want mine to be. So that relationship between management and what reality is something that I would be looking for. And if I can find it, great. And if not, then that's okay.
Who's going to win the cup?
Boy, oh boy. I've been asked that question a few times. It's so much easier, I think, to answer after the first round, because there's so many upsets. There's so many unpredictable things that happen. There's so much pressure. It feels like the first round is the pressure-packed round, and then after that, things just start rolling out. But I really like what Peter's done in Dallas with his team and the depth and the ability to play. They have real good goaltending. I think that they manage the game really well as a team, whether they're playing from behind or the lead. I think they can play the game any way that it has to be played, whether it's rugged or skilled. Dallas, and then out east, it may be a little bit harder to pick because there's some really good teams. I like what Peter's done with his team with the Rangers and how quick they've turned their identity around. They're bigger, they're physical. There wasn't many years ago where they were craving all of that. They've done a really good job. Obviously, Carolina's got that pace and the way they play, the nastiness and the grit that Paul's got going in Florida. I don't think he can rule out Boston at all. Toronto, flip a coin there. I guess that's why there's odds all over the place.
No shit.
You think coaching is just as important in the regular season as it is in the playoffs, and vice versa? How much impact does a coach have in the playoffs versus the regular season? Does it stay consistent across the board, or is there one area where it becomes the players' game, or where the coach has a bigger impact, you think?
Well, I think during the year, you've got to get to the playoffs to have that secondary opportunity. So if you don't have your team prepared and focused, and you don't hold them accountable or promote success throughout the season, you don't get the chance at the secondary part. And some teams just aren't built for it yet. That's not the coach's fault. But the ones that are and they don't get there, well, then that's a bit of a failure. But once you get to the playoffs, you're dealing with a 2-week period of a chess match, if you will. And there are adjustments. There are tendencies that teams are trying to expose or take advantage of. And you've got to be alert. You've got to be aware. You can't overcoach, but you've got to have your hands on the wheel here a little bit and give your players some guidance. I think if you overcoach, you can end up in trouble. If you undercoach, you can. But at the end of the day, you can't have your players freeze because of technical stuff. That's what the season's for. That's where you iron out all your kinks. And down the stretch, you should have a pretty good idea of who you may be playing. And there may be opportunity to get a little creative in not necessarily your last 2 games, because everybody's pre-scouting that, but your last 5 games prior to that, you may throw a little wrinkle into your power play that nobody's going to catch that you might need. You may adjust a penalty kill or face-off coverage. All of those things may come into play, at least in my opinion, from game 77 to 79, maybe that 3-game window if you're in. But you don't want to do it in game 81, 82. Sometimes the players are moving on to the playoffs anyhow, and you don't want to expose anything. But in playoffs, it's about a 2-week adjustment period without making the players freeze.
Listen, man, I could talk to you for another hour.
Geez Louise,
you know
Todd.
what I mean?
You're the man.
And listen, we appreciate you coming on. You're not coaching in the World Championships or anything like that, are you?
No, I'm not. Family comes first. I have two boys. I mentioned one of them, but I have two boys. They're both getting married this summer,
Oh, wow.
a month apart. So between two marriages and potentially a move for my wife and I, the last thing I needed to do was go overseas. Now, it is an unreal experience. I would like that opportunity again to represent my country. I'm not turning it down because I have no interest. I just have to put family first.
I got you.
Understandable.
That makes sense. Well, listen, all the best
You're
to
the
you. You're
best,
going to
Todd.
land somewhere.
Yeah, you are.
I'm eager as anyone to find out where you go.
We're rooting for you.
All the best to you, man. Thanks for doing
Big
this, Todd.
time.
Sounds good, guys. Take care.
You're the
Okay,
man. See you,
appreciate
Todd.
it.
See you,
Take
buddy.
care.
Bye-bye.
The Cameron Podcast is brought to you by Bellman. Behlmann. Bellman Automotive. Located where?
Troy.
Troy, Missouri. Buick GMC on one side of the street. Right on the other side, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Get yourself some new wheels in time for the winter. All right, that was Todd McLellan. Hope you enjoyed that conversation, man. Great guy. All the best to him. He'll be back behind a bench before you know it. He's had a great run, man. He's had some great teams. Unbelievable teams. And just hasn't really been able to get that team to the finish line. But, listen, he's got a long head coaching career ahead of him. So he'll get his chance eventually. Been seeing him coach for years. Super respected, man. You talk to a lot of people around the league, they like Todd McLellan an awful lot. They really do. Like, you hear the way they talk about him, how he interacts with his players, how he interacts with other coaches. This guy's been doing it for several years, so it was good to have him on. He'll be back behind a bench before you know it.
Probably.
Yeah.
I would say he was.
And
if he comes on the podcast.
He's coached some great players and great teams, and he'll be back behind the bench again soon.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see a guy like him win a Stanley Cup.
So do I.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Guys who have been at it for a long time.
There'll be some openings coming up here.
Yes, there will. Yes, there will. We talked about that. So check it out. Subscribe to our Instagram. Follow us on all social media.
Yeah.
Right?
All of our stuff.
All of our stuff.
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter,
Yes.
blah, 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 blah,
Everything.
blah, blah.
Everything. And you need any questions, just reach out to me. I can help you out with whatever you need. My
Whatever.
cameos are open too.
Yeah, mine are too. I haven't had one in like 2 weeks.
Oh, really? Well, you're on a dry spell.
Yeah, a little bit.
I get them.
They pop up.
I get them quite often.
I bet you don't. I bet you if I looked at your phone right now, we could show everybody
Stay
in the
away
camera
from
how
my
many
phone.
you've had.
Stay away from my phone.
Ain't nothing good on there anyway.
Flip-flops.
Most
Spring
non-athletic
season.
thing.
Spring season.
Sundress
Cam
season.
Podcast is brought to you by First Form, baby. Again, firstform.com/Cam Use our app. Download it today. Download their app, which is incredible. That'll just organize your life.
Yeah, baby.
It'll
Easy peasy.
It talks to you. It tells you when you gotta do things.
Yeah, and it'll show you how to work out.
Yeah.
It'll tell you what to
Get
do.
that
They tell
new
you
energy
everything.
flavor, though. I want to get some feedback what people think about that berry flavor. I think it's incredible. New apparel is out, too. IRC, Illinois Recovery Center, Cam.
The real deal.
IllinoisRecoveryCenter.com. Cam's going out there this week.
Yep.
Eric, Chrissy, 800-793-0471.
Those are our people right there, helping people every single day. Families are crying about their loved ones. And now they're enjoying their loved ones because they're normal again. Thank you, Eric. Thanks, Chrissy. Swansea, Illinois. Don't wait on that. Don't wait. It'll be over soon. You just got to get through it. You just got to get through it. It ain't easy, but you can do it. They have a bed waiting right for you. Trust me on that.
Yes.
It's my boys.
Illinois Recovery Center. Bellman.com.
Swinging dicks, man. None of that
Say
bullshit.
hi to Dale.
Dale. God dang, Dale.
And Kenny.
Kenny.
And Danny.
Danny. What's up, guys? What's going on? I want the shit kicker.
Yeah.
I do.
Well,
I want that 250, that badass 250.
I
man.
got you. I got you.
You know?
Yeah. They got the Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on one side, Buick GMC on the other
Buick.
side. Located where?
Troy, Missouri.
Just a hop, skip, and a jump from St. Louis, man. And
Troy.
hey, you're ever driving through, man, stop by Bellman. They'll get you sushi and flavored water,
That's a
too.
stupid thing to
Which
say.
is very
it's
true.
a stupid
It's
thing
very
to say.
true, though.
It's a stupid thing to say.
Hat launch.
Yeah, right
Get
here.
yourself a new hat. Today, if you're a business owner, whatever you are, you want to make your own hat for your buddies, your fantasy football, whatever it
you need.
is, dude.
Yeah.
America's #1 source for customized hats is Hat Launch. Danny Boy, Jordan, the whole crew over there.
Great
Check out their Instagram too.
Yep.
Website, hatlaunch.com. Get yourself a new hat and do it today. Hat Launch, man. Love having them a part of our team here on the Camera Strict Podcast. All right. Hope you enjoyed Todd McLellan. All our social media, follow it. Do it today. Subscribe to our YouTube.
Yep.
Let us know what you think, man. Send us some...
Yeah.
And listen, you want to hear somebody on the podcast? You have a topic you want us to discuss? Let us know. We'll dive into it.
Exactly. We listen to you guys.
Yes, we do.
Damn
because
right.
you're our people. My
Well,
people.
I listen to you.
I do too. And thanks for listening to us.
Love you guys.
On the Camera Strict Podcast.